Yo, what's up, everybody? I still can't get enough of that new Open. It's brand new. We only premiered it last week, so every time I get to watch it, it's like, oh, this Open is dope, and I made it. It's really cool. So I'm excited about today's show, man. For everybody who's in here tuning in, thank you for being patient. As usual, it ain't a NorbCam stream unless we're at least 5 minutes late. I think I should make that a slogan. But we're here this day before Thanksgiving. So first, I just got to say right away, happy Thanksgiving to all of you a day early. I appreciate you guys being here to watch this show today. We have a lot to cover to talk about. We obviously want to talk a little bit about that win, that huge win that we had against the Cardinals, which I have to say right away, I apologize to the Seahawks and the Seattle fan base for being, for not predicting a win for Seattle, but I'm glad it all worked out. I'm glad to be wrong today. But we're going to be talking, of course, this upcoming game as we begin this stretch of the schedule, which we all knew was coming. Once we could get past the dark, evil forest of the woods of this middle part of the schedule and get into the East Coast, the NFC East, and the AFC East teams that we knew things were going to get better, the clouds were going to clear, and things were going to improve. And it's looking really good right now for us as it's setting up for this game. So I can't wait to bring the roundtable on and talk about that. So before I do, I just want to remind everybody, please, if you wouldn't mind, whoa, hello. I guess, okay, I won't show that video. A few little technical glitches. I would appreciate if you guys would subscribe, hit that notification bell, smash that like button. I'm on a quest to get to 50,000 subs before the end of the season. You guys have been supporting me great, so I really appreciate it. Really close to 44, actually. It's getting really close, so I would love every little help from you guys. So without further ado, let's do this today. Let's bring on the roundtable. Here they are, guys, everybody. We are without Seahawks Martin. He couldn't make it today, got some family Thanksgiving responsibilities, and we don't have Brian Apker as he is still in the final stages of getting ready for his move over in Kirkland, but he said he would be back after Thanksgiving, so we look forward to having everybody back. But I'm glad to bring back our special guest, Coach Bill Marsh, a good friend of mine who was so kind to be with us last week. So, Coach Bill, pleasure to have you back again, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Super excited. It was a ton of fun last week, and I look forward to connecting with everybody that's out there. So let's have a fun time today.
Absolutely. We're going to have a fun time. And to the bottom right there, we got Steezy A. Smith, Calvin Domingo. Steezy, always good to see you, brother.
Always, y'all. Always. Can't wait to talk Seahawks football with you guys once again.
Oh, man. For sure. And then last but certainly not least, we've got Noah, formerly known as Noah. We got Squabo in the house above my left shoulder. Good to see you, brother.
Appreciate it. Real quick shout out, if you don't mind, Steezy's birthday is within the next 10 days, man. Be sure to show him some love right off the bat. Birthday within 10 days. Go hit him with a sub.
Okay.
He's got another video coming out shortly, and he just posted one, so go check it out.
All right. Well, it's not quite there, but we begin the countdown because we will do another show before his next birthday, right? So we can make that one the official birthday show, but this is the pre-birthday show. So happy soon-to-come birthday, Steezy. Anybody else want to shout in? I think the birthday seemed to be the theme here, so Steezy's is coming, but somebody else has got one that's happening, I think, actually today is what little birdie told me.
Today. I wanted to give a big shout-out to my son, Luke. Luke's turning 18 today, so he's gone from boys to men, or a boy to a man.
Yes, sir.
So happy birthday, Luke. I love you. Can't wait to hang out with you and continue to talk football, life, everything else. So I know he's watching right now. When I finish, I'll come see him. We'll go out and get a bite to eat.
All right, Luke. I remember, Luke, back when we were doing videos at Eastside Catholic High School, back when you were the head coach there and we were the video production team, and Luke did a little video appearance. He was probably only like 2, sang a little Eastside Catholic song. Yeah. I remember that?
I actually played that the other day for somebody. He was 2 years old at the time. My daughters were 5 and 7, and he was in his gear, and you guys did a great job always including my kids in it. So it's fun seeing that over the year, having that video diary.
That's what's so fun about these videos. And even what we're creating here is the fact that someday we can go back and look at these things and you don't have to even dust them off. Hopefully, if YouTube is still around, who knows how long YouTube will be around, but hopefully it's around for a long time, and these videos will be like a little archive of our lives, this special chapter in our life right here. So, yeah. All right. So, you guys ready to get into this? Yo, what?
Norb, Coach Marsh also me and Coach Marsh had a little sit down yesterday, and he showed me a couple things, some more of the work that you put together. First of all, like even way back in the day, some of your work very, very impressive. Like, it was impressive for today's technology, let alone back then. So very impressive. And if I may, can I also give a happy birthday shout out to Luke Marsh? I have yet to meet this brilliant young mind, but your father sent me one of his mixtapes, man. Some fire bars, man, with a beautiful beat. And I gotta tell you, it was absolute heat. His son, from what I've heard, he's an extremely hard worker that's developed and found a passion over the past couple of months and has worked really hard and been, a leader in that sense and finding his own career and finding ways to make money doing it. So very impressive what I've heard about this young man, and happy birthday to you.
And that starts, Norb, with you. I mean, they say Thanksgiving is an attitude of gratitude. And we've been extremely thankful for you kind of coming back into our lives over the last year or so, but especially for the inspiration you've given to my son. Going from football and then COVID, not being able to play football, and then just being, inspiring him with the music and music production and everything else. So it's just been neat to see how you've taken a platform and you're inspiring so many people out there. And I know that, I've seen it with the comments and how many people just love you around the world. But man, to personally know how much you've inspired my son, and he's thankful. And Squabble, I appreciate you saying that as well. Norb, just so you know, I sent him a 2002 clip. And I let him know that was, pre-YouTube, and that's how far advanced you were. So that's as far as I've shown him, wow. And that's 18 years ago. So I've yet to show him the real stuff.
Oh, and we have a whole movie's worth of stuff, from the highlights themselves to all the little sketches and things we did. Yeah, we were doing some pretty, pre-YouTube, and minimal technology at our disposal to do some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, it's what I always tell people is, if anyone who's interested in doing this kind of thing, whether it be music or video, you just gotta do it. Especially now, there's really no excuse, because we all have one of these, and if you have one of these, you can make anything. You can make music, you can make production, but there's so many tools to our disposal that there's nothing to stop any of you guys from doing what you want in terms of creating arts and entertainment, creating videos, creating music. You have amazing technology that I could have only dreamed of when I was a kid, but we still made it work. Back in the day, back when we did our little public access show, even before we knew Eastside Catholic and you, Bill, we were doing stuff on public access using Hi8 and SVHS decks, and we were still making cool stuff, because it's just you find a way. And so
but you're a hard worker. I mean, you guys would stay up till 2 a.m. with us, with our team, doing video shoots out at high schools, and being creative with the ideas, because you always wanted to make it so special for us. So I know you're doing that just in your career. The video editing up. I remember getting calls from you or what have you, because we weren't quite in the email texting stage yet. But it'd be 2 or 3 in the morning. Ask me a question, and then I'd bounce you back at 7 a.m. and so just neat to see how far you guys have come along.
I think one shoot that really stands out for me was we wanted to create this Braveheart kind of gladiator scene where we had 2 football teams on the field, like 2 armies rushing at each other, right? And we only had the seniors from one team and a small group from, I think, Juanita.
There was 12. Yeah, we were at Juanita High School, and we had 12 kids from their team, and then all of our team. But the way well, go ahead, you complete it.
But we wanted to create this Braveheart, these 2 guys, because we had these shots of these guys running this side, and then when we did the massive everybody coming at each other shot, we did digital player duplication to make it look like an army of 100 of guys running at each other. It
looks like 1,000 versus 1,000.
Yeah.
You'll have to put that up at some point.
I'll have to cue some of these highlights sometime just to show the stuff we were doing. But it was fun. But that night, it was like 10 degrees. It was freezing. It was so cold. We were freezing our butts off. Couldn't feel my fingers, but some of those are the best productions.
But you guys are so willing to give. You just wanted there to be a gift to everybody, and that's why I hope everybody out there understands that when I share stories, it's more about wanting to speak up Norb or the other guys that are in the round table. This isn't about me. Like I used to tell my players, it's not about me, it's about you. And you've always been that way with the guys that we work with. And so when I'm talking about highlight videos, it's not to say, hey, look at the highlight videos that I had, as a coach. It's more, I want you to see the work that Norb does and his creation, because even when I see comments or, shoot, Norb, if we'd have said 5 years ago, people would be watching someone your age play Madden, I'd have said you were nuts. And now I'm one of the guys that's sitting there watching you go, man, am I really watching him play a game? And then 30 minutes later, I'll be up to bed pretty soon. I'm watching Norb play Madden. And I'm wondering, what's going on here, right? But it's
I know it's crazy, right?
You're having so much fun. You're having so much fun, man. That's what I love. You're just having so much fun doing it.
Well, what's funny about it too is that I only started playing. So I've got, maybe this many games under my belt, right? So this is all very new. What's hilarious, though, is that everybody in the comments, everybody knows how to play Madden way better than I do. So they're all coaching me up, telling me, oh, you need to do a cover 2, or you need to hit the stick button and then do this. And I'm like, okay, how do I run the fake field goal? So it's awesome that I could actually ask people live, what should I do? And then they're affecting the game as a play caller, telling me what to do. That's what's so great about it, right? Can you imagine if we're watching the Seahawks, we go, hey, Ken, why don't you run that blitz, but disguise it? And he goes, yeah, okay, let me try that. It's kind of like that, right?
Actually, so half of that does happen. There's about 67,000 people that do make suggestions every play. They just don't respond.
Yeah, they don't hear it. Here, they actually get to see the results. So anyway, it's great. That's what I love. Get
10 followers. Can I get 10 followers if I start playing Tecmo Bowl?
Hey, man, you never know.
Running up and down, and maybe we can start playing
Tecmo Bowl. I'd watch it. All right, so probably enough reminiscing, going down memory lane and patting each other's selves on the back. We got to talk some Seahawks football here. But again, I love this stuff, though. That's what's so great about these the memories, and we're creating them right here, just with Steezy and Squabo. I mean, we're just we've only been collaborating over this past year or so, but I feel like everybody's just we're just kind of gelling and forming things, and I just see great roads ahead for especially you guys. You're the future of this industry and what we're doing. So it's awesome. So I can say one day, that Squabo guy, I knew him back when he didn't even have a YouTube channel. Yeah, look at him now. Oh, my back. Anyway, so let's stay in the now here. Anthony D says, hey, Norb, speaking of this, I'll finish my script on human trafficking. I'll hit you up so we can do some filming, hopefully. But wow, we got Anthony D's again, inspiring to do filmmaking, music. You just got to do it. You just got to do it. All right, so we got to do this.
So teasing Squabble, I don't know if you can notice, but Norb's attitude to start the show is a little bit different and I'm just a guest, so I haven't seen every single one of his shows. A little bit more energy this week, and I'm not sure exactly why.
I could tell you why.
There's more energy than there was last week. I'll tell you why. That's a segue for you, Norb, but this.
I'll tell you why. First
Did you win
of all,
the Madden game earlier?
So I beat the Madden game. I beat I beat the Eagles handily. So that was nice. Forget about the little second game that I played against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Forget that ever happened. But no, first of all, we beat the Cardinals. I'm feeling good about that. And now we got the nice part of the schedule coming up here. But really, what really got me excited was the fact that I did something I never thought I'd be doing, but I spent the last 3 days replacing the toilets in my house. Okay, because one of the toilet seats broke, and we've been complaining about our toilets because they clog all the time. So I decided, let's go buy whole new toilets. I've never done it before, so I got on YouTube and learned how to do it. So I replaced all 3 of these stupid toilets, and they're fantastic. And you guys are like, why are you so excited about a toilet, man? It was just the fact if you guys ever do something that you never thought you'd do, or you look at it and go, man, that seems like a lot of work or whatever, and then you actually go and do it, it's the greatest feeling in the world, right? So I'm proud of myself for having replaced 3 toilets. I feel like the expert now. Dumped the old ones in the dump today, so our house is clean for Thanksgiving. My parents can go take it, do their business on a brand new toilet that doesn't clog. It's great. So
the Cardinals win. I'm proud of you. I believe in you. Talk like Norb. I believe in you. You can do this. Go change those toilets. And then you probably a selfie stick while you're doing it. There'll probably be some special 3-minute video coming out on you changing the toilets.
No, I should have. That'd probably be worth something. But actually, I just did it on my own. I was like, told myself I can do this thing, and thanks for YouTube. That's that was where I got a lot of my tips to do it. So anyway, so it's all those things. And just Thanksgiving holiday. I'm just in a good mood. I'm just happy. I'm happy and just thankful for all these things that we're talking about and being able to do this show with you guys. And it's just been a fun time. I know a lot of people are struggling during this time, with all their different issues. We're talking to the lady at the store on the way back home just now, talking about how she has to work tomorrow, 8 to 5 on Thanksgiving, and she doesn't get to have her family over when normally she'd have the get-togethers at her place because of the whole COVID thing. There's so much to be upset about. There's a lot of things to not be happy about, but there are always things you can be grateful for in your life, and I just think sometimes you just got to focus on those things that are good and try to, especially on a day of Thanksgiving, try to look at the things that you do have, because it can always be worse. right? Bad as things can get, things could always be worse. So you got to count your blessings that you've got. So again, I just want to say thank you in advance to you guys, Coach Bill, for your friendship, Squavo and Steezy for your partnership and friendship that we've gotten developed, and then of course everybody who's watching this, you guys. Because if it wasn't for the audience, we wouldn't be doing this, because we need an audience to make this thing happen. So appreciate all of you guys. So I am happy, and now I want to talk about one of the reasons why we're happy. That's that win over the Arizona Cardinals last week. So, as you guys know, I was the one guy who said we weren't going to win, because I was kind of going off my early prediction. I'm glad, as I said, I apologize to the Seahawks and the fans for being wrong, but I'm glad I was wrong, and I'm glad you guys were right. And so I want to talk about, reflect on that game, and then as we look ahead to the Philadelphia Eagles. But let's start with you, Steezy. Tell me about what your feelings were looking at that game. How did this, with a lot of doubt in the air, at least on my end and a lot of other fans, Seahawks pulled this thing out. What was it? What was so great about that game? How did we get this win?
I think all around it was a team effort. Russell Wilson, it was his first game with under 200 yards passing, but he was very efficient in doing so, and he didn't have to shoulder the entire load. We had a running game finally. Our pass rush has been pretty good ever since Carlos Dunlap has came into the fold. We have 13 sacks in 3 games. We had 12 in 8 games before that, or in 7 games before that. And so now we're in the upper half of the NFL in sacks. We have guys that are flying under the radar that are playing pretty well. DJ Reed all over the field, led our team in tackles with 11. Overall, it was a great team effort. I think that this is the formula moving forward, where we know that Russell Wilson can win a shootout for us, but we shouldn't ask him, or we shouldn't expect of him to do that every single week. And that was without Carlos Hyde. That was without Chris Carson. That was without any of our starting corners. That was without our starting center. And so the fact that we were able to handle a team on Thursday Night Football, a team that we just lost to a few weeks ago, we were able to hold the number 1 team in the NFL in yards per game, in rushing yards per game, to 57 yards rushing. And then Kyler Murray, the best dual-threat quarterback in the league today, was held to 15. And so our run defense was spectacular as per usual. Our pass rush was there. Our secondary held DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best receivers in football, to 5 catches and 51 yards. Overall, it was a great team performance. The score could have been a lot higher as well. And so I'm just very happy, and I hope that it can continue.
Do you remember what your keys were? We all gave our keys last week, and I haven't really made it a habit of revisiting those keys to see what keys they actually accomplished that you had. I was wondering if you still have do you remember your keys from last week, and how many of those did they check off in your box?
Real quick, actually, I just forgot. I was feeling kind of left out early because I didn't get to say happy birthday to Coach's son as well. Luke, I don't know you, you don't know me, but I want to wish you a very, very happy 18th birthday. I remember when I first turned 18, that was a feeling, that was a day that I'll never forget. And so I can only imagine how you're feeling, on your 18th birthday, but I hope you feel all the love and happy birthday. But I think some of my keys from last week, I know I said we had to contain Kyler Murray, which we definitely did, to the tune of 15 rushing yards. I said we have to run the football, which we did. And then my last key, I think, was play a clean game or something. I don't remember my final key, but my first 2 keys were contain Kyler Murray and then run the football.
All right, and they certainly did that, and that was fun. That was fun to watch. Squabble, how about we go with you, man? Tell me just your overall reaction to the game, and then which of those keys came true for you?
Well, I thought there were 3 really key things that stood out in this game and were the main reasons that the game went the direction that they did. Number 1 was the penalties for Arizona. They had 10 for 118 yards, I believe. And they were apparent at drastic times. We had a pretty bad penalty game ourselves, having 8 ourselves. But it was nothing in comparison to their 10 for even more yards and at such critical times of the game, including that led to their safety that got us the ball back, pushed a 2-point game to a 4-point game that we extended to a 7-point game. So, penalties were a really big thing for them as well. I agree with Steezy with his point for the game. Carlos Hyde had a major impact in this game, and he was unquestionably one of the main reasons that Seattle was so successful. We dominated time and possession, won it by 11 minutes, and Carlos Hyde was extending plays in ways that only veteran NFL players know how to do, and finding extra yards when there were none, and he kept his legs driving beautifully. So Carlos Hyde was another major impactor in this game. We did have a lot of injuries heading into this game, so having our backups play as good as they did was really inspirational. DK had a couple of drops. We got to get him out of his demons right now. But overall, as a team, I thought we did really good. We ended up winning by 7 points. It was still a one-score game. But in terms of my keys for last week, I got them right here. My first key was no more than 2 picks for Russ. He had no picks, no fumbles. So that's a check. I said we need to start hot and take the lead. We led for the majority of that ball game. So that's a check, or if not the entire game. So that's a check. And lastly, to sky's the defense, we held Arizona Cardinals, one of the top offenses in the NFL, to 21 points. I'd like to think that we were showing them something that they hadn't seen before or that they weren't expecting. So I believe that would be another check. Overall, it was a solid win. We definitely still have some things to clean up. The pass rush could still get better. Only 3 sacks when that came in. We didn't get any turnovers defensively. The safety was the biggest swing factor in terms of a turnover because it gave us 2 points in the football, but that came off penalties. So we need to control what we can control more, but luckily penalties helped us escape Arizona.
Yes, and I do want to talk about some of the things that didn't go well. We'll get to that in a second. In the Super Chat, Rohan, good old San Francisco 49er fan, Rohan says, so I take a 2-month break from watching the streams, come back, and now everyone is dressed like they're attending a bar mitzvah. What the hell happened? Well, it's funny. It's been you took a 2-month break. I guess it's been that long. But it really started with you, Squavo, because you just one day showed up in your suit and tie. And so you were looking good. And I was like, damn, man, what's going on? And then the next thing you know, Steezy shows up with a dress shirt. And I'm like, man, I feel kind of like a scrub here, man. I need to change things up. And I also thought we also were in the middle of a bad losing streak. I thought I need to change things up somehow here. So I decided to go with the formalize things up a little bit. So, that's what happened, Ron. Sometimes, you just got to roll with the flow. But Squabbo's been kind of a trailblazer in that way because he inspired me to do the trivia because of what he was doing on his show. And then he starts doing, sporting a little dressier look. And then we all start doing it. So, yeah, you know what? People like a sharp-dressed man. So, why not, right? So anyway, that's the explanation there, Rohan. So I hope you like it because, I think we're going to stick with it for a while. Coach Marsh, let's get your coaching perspective. Talk about what went well in this game from your eyes and also some of the keys, which you had very specific ones. I can't wait to hear how those turned out for you.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that a zip-up is exactly what you'd wear to one of those. So, but that during games on Friday nights that I try to be the best dressed coach in the state. As it comes to the game itself, my number one was actually making sure that we didn't count on Russ for everything. Because I think everybody was, kind of wanting Russ to cook more and do a lot more stuff with regards to the passing game and do this and do that. And I just felt like that we needed to go the antithesis of that. And it absolutely showed in the way that he played, his numbers. I was ecstatic that he was under 200 yards because the games over the course of his career, and especially the ones during the Super Bowl run and the following year, he had a lot of sub 200-yard games that were high percentage games. And in the comments, I know last week, everybody was talking about how, why don't we have a short passing game? Great to see that happen. My second one was probably the one that ended up being the bigger one, and that was holding Murray to under 40 yards. And I remember, specifically kind of having a downtrodden face when I said that, but, he had 15 total yards rushing. So I know everybody was on the get rid of Ken bandwagon, but I think he and Pete, probably had a good heart to heart and really sat in that whiteboard. So we have to stop this guy, not just for this game, but if we want to win the division, we want to win the Super Bowl, everything else. So great that they contained him and forced him to pass, because he's just not there yet. He's a great player, a great passer, but he's not there. And my third one was special teams. I'm a big special teams aficionado, love special teams. They say that when you don't hear about it, that means things are going great. But this is one of those times I want to really give a shout out to our special teams because it's really been one of our most consistent things all season. And it really was steadfast the other night when we needed it because there's a big difference between being down 3 or 4 or 6 or 7. And so when we went from 4 to 7 and forced them to be in a position where they have to go all the way down the field, man, that's a lot of pressure. And that's where, again, I'd rather have Russ than have, a guy who threw up one Hail Mary 2 weeks prior. So that was it, man. Under 40 yards, keep Russ, just contain it under control, and have our special teams be flawless. And I'm not going to say anything about our kicker because I don't want to jinx him.
Yes, we don't. He's been having quite a season here. So
I think he's second all time right now. Second all time for again. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
he's second all time at something.
Yeah, and then the 61-yarder to put in as a feather in his cap. I mean, it's not very many kickers who can say they kicked 60 or more. That's a very hard milestone to achieve as a kicker. So that's that blew me away when he hit that one. So
when you can get to the 43-yard line and feel like you can do different things on third down, then you usually have to wait till you get to the 25-yard line because you can get those three. It's not automatic when you're kicking from the 50 to make 60-yarders, but you got a shot at it. Regardless of weather, man, that is awesome.
Yeah.
It's just awesome as a coach. And for me as an offensive coordinator, 95% of my career, I loved having a kid who could kick the ball well from 42 to 48 yards because it changes up your play calling because you have someone you can count on. You don't have to punt the ball from the 35-yard line in the high school level. In the NFL, you hate it when they're going out there at the 42-yard line and sending the punt team out.
Right.
And no one fakes it anymore. So.
Right. And what's amazing, too, is that just psychologically, there's got to be a thing that when you're standing there on the other side of the 50, you look at the ball where that's going to be held, and it's on the other side of the 50. There's just something that's got to be, as a kicker, mentally like, man, this thing's way out here, I know in practice they do this 100 times, and a lot of times in practice you see these guys drilling 60-yard field goals, but it's a whole other thing when you got to do it, snap time, pressure coming in, and all that kind of stuff. So, that's a fantastic moment.
And I think this is hopefully where I can, add a little brevity to it. What I bring in as a coach from that standpoint. Yes, of course, when you're way back there, you get past 52 and beyond, there's a trajectory piece to it. And anybody knows that who watches football. But most kickers, once they get to the college level, they're really trained to treat every single kick like a 35 to 42-yard field goal. Kind of like pick a number in your head, always swing the same. Like your golf club, right? You're going to pick the golf club and make the swing the same all the way through. So I always told my kickers in high school, your PAT, you're going to kick it the same as you are a 40-yard field goal. You're not going to kick it lighter. You're not going to kick it harder. You're not going to change the trajectory. You're always trying to hit the scoreboard. So same with those guys. Yes, I think when you're on the other side of that 50, it might make a little bit of a difference. At the same time, they're so good at what they do, I don't think they really see the lines. We get nervous about it because it's like there's the number 6 is in front of, 60 yards. It's dang impressive. But the psychology of the game, that's why I love our kicker because he's got more moxie than anybody out there right now. Like he's fun to watch.
Yeah, and if you watch my Philadelphia Eagles, game, I did a fake extra point where Jason Myers was supposed to throw a pass to the tight end. Unfortunately, I didn't know how to run it, so he just got killed. He basically took it was Geno Smith, and he takes the snap and he just flips it over his head, and then Jason Myers has got it. I didn't even realize I was supposed to throw the ball because I didn't even know what was going to happen. But I thought, man, that's fun to do because you'll never see that probably ever happen in real life. But it's fun to make it happen in a fantasy mode. Ben Ned in the super chat says, "Okay, it is official. I need to get a dress shirt and tie to watch the stream. Go Hawks!" Woo! See, look at what Squabble started. Now you're going to see all these nicely dressed guys all over town just because they're, hey, why are you dressed up? I've been watching NorbCam stream, man. I got to come to play. So, all right. So great insight. So I want to share a few of mine. So obviously I was wrong because I predicted, stuck to my initial prediction that we would lose 21-17. But I still had keys. I thought, here's what, if we can do this, we could not come out with that end result. And the first one, I think all three came to light, but the first one was we got to do a better job protecting Wilson and win the turnover battle. The turnover battle is kind of a given, right? Because we won every game that we won the turnover battle. Well, we won the turnover battle, and they did a good job protecting Wilson. Wilson had time back there. It was great to see him just, out there. And sometimes they design some bootlegs, so when he's out there running, he's got lots of open space to throw the ball. So it's great to see Wilson not under duress in that game. So they did a great job of game planning that. Obviously also helped by the running game. And then defensively, number two was to attack and disguise their blitzes. They did do that. I thought that was that whole thing where we've talked about it all week in the previous 2 weeks that they need to keep blitzing, but they got to be more strategic with it, not be so obvious. And it felt like they were doing that, dropping, showing blitz and then dropping guys in coverage, just seeing our linebackers running around back there. That final series where Bobby Wagner is chasing Larry Fitzgerald to the goal line in pass coverage, that was just, I think we saw a lot more of our linebackers doing that kind of stuff. So, and we did get to them, obviously, at the end. We got to Kyler Murray at the final game with rushing three. We haven't been able to get pressure with rushing 4. We've had to rush 4 and send 1 or 2 more guys. This time we rushed 3 and got to him. So that was really inspiring and just made me think, man, great things to come for this defense. And then finally, it was the one that we talked about for months. We talked about let's go up tempo, let's speed it up a little bit, and I kind of said in parentheses, keep it simple, in the sense that if we go quick, Russell can kind of just control the game more and kind of just see what's in front of him. And they did that. You know what I'm saying, guys? We actually saw them go kind of some no huddle. They went to some whoa, what's this? They're going. They're just going to step on the accelerator and speed things up and put Arizona back on their heels, not just let them get a rest and get going. And I thought that worked amazing to just have the offense kind of in one step ahead. It felt like they were just one step ahead from the Cardinals, who had to kind of react instead of sort of set up for us. So those were my 3 keys in that game. I felt like they all happened in ways that were unexpected. So it was fantastic game to watch. So let's pivot a little bit here and kind of open this up. Was there anything that you saw that we could have done better? Obviously, it was close. It came down to that final drive that they could have scored a touchdown on and sent it to overtime, and we went to overtime the first time, and it didn't work out for us. So we were that close, despite the win and the numbers being much skewed in our favor. But what did you guys see that you thought that was a good performance by Seattle, but what would you have liked to have seen go better, or what you didn't like? Let's go back to Steezy. Start with you, man. What anything that you saw that you weren't so happy about the way we performed in that game?
Noah kind of alluded to it earlier, but I got to say DK. I mean, he had a whole lot of missed opportunities. There was that catch and run that could have been a touchdown. And I know it wasn't necessarily his fault because Russell Wilson did throw a dart straight to his face mask, but I mean, that's 2 drop potential touchdowns right there. And so I think DK, he kind of needs to clean it up just a little bit. But I mean, he's been performing very admirably, the entire season. And so I'm not going to hold it too much against him, kind of just nitpicking here. But I think overall it was a complete performance from both sides of the football. Coach alluded to earlier as well. Special teams, I thought that we made a whole lot of adjustments, coaching wise as well. And so, if I had to nitpick, I would just say DK. I mean, obviously, injuries. I would like to say that let's just get healthier, but I mean that sounds kind of like a cop out. But given what we're dealing with on the offensive line, I mean, seeing Damian Lewis switch over to center and holding up in the way that he did, I mean, that's, to me, that was a big win, because now that we know. If Ethan Post ever has to miss any time, for any reason whatsoever, we know that Damian Lewis is more than capable. I know he had a few holding penalties. I know he had that botched snap that Carlos Hyde had to recover. But, I thought all around we did pretty well. So I'm kind of just picking on DK here.
Yeah, and if DK makes 1 or 2 of those catches, who knows what the score is, and maybe it's not even that close of a ball game. And then there was that, exactly. You mentioned the Damian Lewis one where the holding call brought back what was going to set up a really nice possession down and close to the red zone early in the game. That guy got called back. That would have had a huge impact at that point. Let's go to you, Squabo.
Yeah, no, DK had a couple plays get away from him. That call on Damian Lewis was absolutely atrocious. He dropped 2 touchdown passes, Simple as that. So I completely agree about that. There are 2 other things, at least, that I can think about just off the top of my head. Our third down efficiency was better, 8 for 14, but that's still not where it needs to be. Let's try and get that up to 60, 75. If we can, 80%. Let's try and get extremely efficient, because that's also a testament to your first and second down play, even more than it is to your third down play, because of the situation that you're setting yourself up in. Also, our penalties. Like I said, 8 penalties is a lot. We got to clean that up. Offensively and defensively. That's going to help our third down efficiency offensively. We didn't get any turnovers defensively. I believe we did have 1 called back. And defensively, I think a lot of this stuff has an opportunity to get better, including the penalties. When listening to Bobby Wagner in press conference, as well as Ken Norton and Pete Carroll, they talked about a meeting that they had this past week before the game, where essentially they had an assignments meeting and everyone was talking about what their assignment is on given plays. And they went around to everyone on defense, third stringer, situational players, nickel packages, dime packages, prevent defense. And he asked them, each and every one of them, what their assignment is on a given play so that they'd have that camaraderie together. And then also in press conference this week, I heard Bobby Wagner talking about how a lot of these blitzes we've been running the past couple of weeks. Steezy talked about last 3 weeks we have 13 sacks. The entire season before that, 7 games, we had 12. What changed? We started running all these new blitzes along with Carlos Dunlap and Jamal Adams coming back. But Bobby Wagner said that these aren't new blitzes to the Seahawks. We just haven't ran them before. In the past, we've had down linemen, Chris Clemens, Michael Bennett, that could get to the quarterback, Cliff Averill, without needing to blitz. So we've had these blitzes. We're starting to put them in place. Well, why has it been such a slow start to get these into our defense, and why did it take so long into the season? Well, it's the fact that we haven't had guys on the field. Jamal Adams missed a whole bunch of games. Carlos Dunlap we just traded for. You know, we've had guys injured. We had guys at the start of the season that Benson may always miss some time. Bruce Irvin's out for the season. So it's the fact that we haven't had that consistency, and Bobby Wagner also brought up that meeting helped mostly us trust each other because we haven't had that camaraderie and that time to build together. So it's also a good sign moving forward for our defense, especially against the schedule we have coming up. We have opportunities here to get right and to work on our camaraderie together defensively. That's the biggest sign moving forward. So all is not lost. We came away with the victory, and that's always the bottom line. But moving forward, there's a lot of room to improve and reason to expect it.
You brought the penalties, and we had a couple that were game-changing. Well, at that moment, they were definitely momentum-changing plays. But I thought 2 of the biggest ones, the one on Damian Lewis, I thought that was a terrible call, to be honest. I don't usually complain about officiating for the most part, if it's right. I thought that was a bad call. And then even the Quandre Diggs hit, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, what are you doing, man? And then they showed the replay, and I didn't think it was what they call, because he didn't go helmet to helmet on him. I think it was shoulder pad hit him. I thought he got the raw deal on that one. He's now given where the ball was thrown like 3 feet, 4 feet behind him. He shouldn't have even had touched him. But I still don't think he was guilty as charged. Do you guys see it the same way, or do you guys feel like those were actually legit penalties?
100%.
Yeah, and those were. I mean, that one that was going to end that drive, and it kept it on. It kept it going for the Cardinals, and they ended up scoring the touchdown after that. And then the one that again with Damian Lewis hold. To me, I don't know. I was looking, where's the hold? He just got run over by the guy, and he kind of fell on him. But I never saw him grab him. I never saw anyone actually get held. So to me, that was some bad officiating there that we got stung for. Luckily, it didn't cost us the game, but we would have been talking about that.
It definitely stings us, but I think one of the things that, again, I try to give a little bit level-headed, even though if you saw me on a sideline, you'd see some definite energy coming out of me there on the sidelines with some of the officials, and try to be friends with them early on and give them the fist pump, and then the fourth quarter I'd hopefully get that call. But both the NFL and the NBA, they have weeks of emphasis, WEEKS, in terms of each week they get together, with their officials, and they talk about what took place this last weekend. And so what do we need to focus on this next weekend? And it's not so much, pick a specific player, but it's, hey, this week, let's look for these things. So you'll see a trend if you really want to get, dive deep into some stuff that probably isn't that fascinating to anybody. But if you look at, what type of penalties take place over the course of a 3-week or 4-week period, you'll see a trend of holding penalties. And then all of a sudden you see a trend of, hits that everybody goes, well, that wasn't a vicious hit, but, he got 15 yards, or he got ejected, or he got whatever. And then all of a sudden you see a bunch of, just unsportsmanlike penalties when 2 weeks earlier 10 and 15 guys are doing the same thing. So I think that's one of the things you can kind of look for. That it can change the complexion of a game, but I think the players oftentimes know it, and that's why you usually don't see them freaking out too much, because they know that that's going to be a trend. So while that call may go against us, I could probably list 5 or 6 other ones that didn't go against us because that wasn't the point of emphasis this week. So we got away with some things that, if I was to just sit there in a game and look at all that type of stuff, just like they say, there's holding on every single penalty, which there is. I mean, there's literally holding on every single penalty. Same thing here. So I don't get too worked up about those type of things. But that's just me. I'm not Norb or Squabo. I know those guys get really worked up on those type of penalties. It's usually pretty chill on this stuff.
Well, again, that's why I like your perspective, because you do see it from a different, a little bit more the insides of games and from a coaching perspective, and what you do on the sideline. I always found it fascinating to listen to you, because again, we would have many games where we mic'd you up as a coach, so we're videotaping the game, but we're listening to you the whole time. We see you working the officials, you're doing a little chit chat with them and trying to butter them up and all that kind of stuff, and so there's games within the games. They're still human beings, even though they got to make tough calls.
Yeah, I tried to even have all my coaches. You remember Coach Keatzer? I mean, probably one of the funniest guys I've ever been around. He played at WSU, and was part of the Rose Bowl team that went a while back, and just a great guy. And one time before a game, we were really rolling, we're getting into the playoffs, and he says, "Hey, do you mind if I give one of the officials a fist pound? Or fist pump, whatever you want to verbalize it as." I said, "Yeah, go ahead." Well, I'm thinking he's talking about, pregame. Like he's going to go meet with the officials and just talk, because usually they just want the head coach to talk to him. No, kickoff, there's the sideline official who stands with his arms sideways, and he's waiting for the kickoff to take place. And I see our special teams coach just come walking up to him, boom, right fist to fist. And I'm thinking, what the heck's he doing? Well, sure enough, that official, he turned and he gave him a big smile. The rest of my career, either him or myself did that to every single official along the way, because I knew exactly what type of sideline official I would have based on his response. But our goal is always in the first quarter, we're not going to yell at the officials. We would even compliment the officials on certain things. Like, yeah, you got that call right. We're not buttering up to him, but I might get on him and say, yeah, okay, you argue a little bit. He'd give his point. I'd say, yeah, okay, I understand we made that call. Fourth quarter, I knew I was always going to win that guy over compared to the other guy who was, screaming and yelling all game long about calls. I'd get that pass interference that he wasn't going to get. So those are some of the nuances, when you get to be down on the sideline, whether it's high school level, college, pro, that to me is the fun part. It's the psychology of the game, that takes place. That's what makes Mic'd Up so fun. I could watch Mic'd Up videos, all the time, because you see things like that. But yeah, when my assistant did that, I mean, you're not going to see that in any clinics, but it changed the dynamics of how we open games and really how we approach officials.
That's hilarious.
Someone should have done that in the 2005 Super Bowl. Maybe we'd have got some calls there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the fix was in no matter what they're going to do, but that's a whole nother story. Hey, I got to shout out one of our moderators, Alina Dahl. She says, a great way to celebrate my birthday. NorbCam and trivia. Even better would be a Husky and a Hawk win this weekend. Yeah, Alina, so your birthday today. Well, there's a lot of people having birthdays today. So, Alina, happy birthday. Thank you. You're always in the streams, always taking care of making sure people are well behaved in the chat. So thank you, Alina. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alina. Happy birthday to you. Thanks, Alina. Appreciate it. Woo! Happy birthday. So it's a great time.
Were you the lead singer in a band? And I'm not even joking. I remember going and watching you. I don't recall if you were the lead singer or playing an instrument and doing something else, but you do have musical talents as well. So your talents are just off the charts all over the map. So when you're singing, it's not just goofy singing.
I do goofy singing better than anybody too.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
but I did. I played little keyboards and did a little lead singing. So I missed being on stage, doing the band stuff. But doing videos on YouTube, that's a very nice way to get my musical outlet that way. So Alina says, thank you. You're welcome. And thank you for everything you do on this channel. So do we even talk about your build? Did we even get to the point of talking about yours? We didn't get to it. Okay. All right. No. So you have the floor. Yeah. Talk about, things that you thought could have been better for this game, Bill.
Really two. One has to do with our linebacker play. And it's not so much that, that they didn't play well. Obviously, we were able to contain and everything else. But I always felt like, just like colleges will have an identity, you hear about linebacker U or safety U or their quarterback U. In the NFL, we had the Legion of Boom and all those things that I feel like we need to kind of put behind, kind of like the 91 Husky National Championships, need to put that behind us, need to move on to other things. When it comes to our linebacker play, we just don't have an identity. And in the NFL, linebackers are where your identity usually takes place. And we've talked about before that Bobby's a quiet guy. And our other linebackers, there's a lot of times I'm seeing the plays the other night where you could still tell that the communication's not there. And that's the segue that I'm leading to, is that our identity is right now is that we lack it, and therefore we don't communicate very well. So there's a lot of times where we're out of place on plays that at the NFL level, really, we shouldn't be out of place on. The guys should be making their, oftentimes you'll hear get your fits, or, fill a gap, or, force the play, some of those basic terms, and guys just really aren't doing it. And when you're in week, 10, 11, and 12, if they're not doing it by now, they're probably not going to be doing it, which means now you get overcompensation. I mean, safeties are having to take the place of somebody, or they're having to drop a lineman out to do things. So I'm a little concerned that was something that we still saw in the game, especially when they needed some plays and, made things happen. Our linebackers weren't having that. So I would suggest everybody, watch for that. Guys should be communicating. We always said no secrets on defense. Offense has to do, communication through signals and everything else. defense 11 guys should be talking the whole time, all the way up to the snap of the play, and even after that. But I see plays where it doesn't look like anybody's communicating to anybody. I am going to jump on the DK piece because, like everybody else, I watched a lot of videos of Russ and DK throwing over the summertime. So even though Russ is throwing, some serious heat on that fastball that's coming to the back of the end zone, I mean, what's the point of being a receiver? You're taught as soon as you break into your route, you snap your head and your hands at the same time. So, guys in the NFL that don't, what we used to call, we'd say circle up, or other coaches call it, circle of opportunity or different claws, or even if you're going to catch it like this, whatever you're going to do is fine. And a body catch, people learn how to do that as well. The helmet catch is something that I don't think anybody's been working on since probably 1942 when the passing game was invented. So the fact that he did that, not good. But here was my biggest point beyond that little joke there, is it's translating into his attitude when he plays. So as much as we're going to compliment him on the great rundown, a couple weeks ago and some of the other touchdowns he's making, there was a play in the game where we fumbled it. So when Russell turned around, it looked like he was going to run a lead play or a dive play to his right, and then our running back took off to his left. So Russ spun around and then spun back the other way, and we called it a flick. He flick pitches it. We fumbled. But on that play, DK, he was the slot receiver that was about 2 yards to the left of the left tackle. So center guard tackle, left tackle is DK. His only job is to barely turn and lean into this guy and make sure he doesn't chase this kind of trick pitch around the end. DK gives no effort on the play and kind of almost does it, I'm just going to give up on it. And then he realized he'd made a mistake because we fumbled the ball, and he all of a sudden goes into acceleration mode because he realizes he didn't make the block and his guy's about to get close to recovering the football. And then when he gets over to the football, he does the same thing that Cam did in the Super Bowl, which you can debate either way whether he should have dove for that ball or not. He doesn't go in after that football. When our quarterback's down there trying to get it, the quarterback's fighting guys off, other receivers, Lockett's down in there, DK should be down there fighting for that ball. But he's also earlier in the game, the guy who's upset when he's not getting the ball thrown to him deep. So I get a little concerned when a guy is not getting it to where Tyler Lockett, on a play that I'll talk about later on, he ends up blocking two guys on one play. But you'll never see it, and he won't get the credit that he deserves out in the film room. So DK, I am getting concerned, and I love DK. Trust me, love him big time. Sent you guys a video earlier this week about him. Great backstory, has overcome everything. But he's getting into kind of that, me, my, I versus we, us, our. And I'm a we, us, our over me, my, I guy, and that's what Russ is. He's we, us, our. So I think it helps that we have Russ to help him out of that, I think. But, Lockett is a we, us, our guy. DK, man, if at that body type, if he's not willing to sell out and make those blocks when we're inside the 20-yard line in a pivotal game, I'd rather he be pulled out and let's get somebody else in there to make a play and someone talk to him and get him back in there. So that was a big thing that was really resonated throughout the whole game because he did it 5 different times that I kind of saw the pout factor. And that was 3 of them were before he dropped the catch, the big one in the end zone. So.
Well, it's a good segue because I want to get you guys' opinions on this, and you guys in the chat can also weigh in as well. But did you guys hear the story about the Instagram response? There was a question posed on Instagram regarding the Eagles game, and I can't remember who actually posted the question, but it was a question: should the Eagles bench Carson Wentz and start Jalen Hurts? And who responded to that of the Seahawks? We had 2 Seahawks actually weigh in on that. DK Metcalf and DJ Dallas. They both said yes.
DK he just put all caps. I say yes.
I say yes. Now, I want to ask you guys, do you guys think this is a good idea that he should even be responding to, because we always talk about bulletin board material, giving the other team something to react to whenever you open your mouth or put something out on text. I heard that and I was like, oh man, what are you doing? Why are you even participating in this and giving them even a reason to think about why they should put a bullseye on you? What do you guys think? Do you have an opinion? Do you think it's no big deal? Or do you think this is an indication of anything there? Let's go to Steezy. What was your reaction when you saw that?
I was laughing. I seen it this morning, him and DJ. I don't think it's too much of a deal. I understand the concerns, Norb, that you're bringing up. But at the end of the day, I mean, even if Philly gives us their best, I don't think they could beat us on a good day, And so even if they look at DK and kind of, try to take him out the game and however they deem fit, then, so be it. But I'm not really tripping. He's just having a little fun, And so I don't think it's a big deal.
Squabba, what do you think? It's no big deal? You agree with Steezy, or do you have a different reaction?
I feel like it's not a big deal. There is some legitimacy to what he's saying. First of all, Carson Wentz leads the NFL in turnovers right now. Second of all, DK in college played against Jalen Hurts twice and got blown out twice. So he's had some experience losing against Jalen Hurts. Also, Ryan Clark on national television today came out and said, what if him and DJ Dallas were literally trying to get an edge by saying, put in the worst guy so we have a better chance to win? Like, what if there's that factor to it? So I don't think we should dive too far into what he's saying or what they're saying right here. I don't like the fact that DJ Dallas said it, because you're the backup's backup. Like, you're not going to be on the field, and if you are, you've been underperforming so far. So I don't want to hear you talking, but DK, as long as you turn it around, I 100% agree with what Coach Marsh had to say about DK, though. And I definitely feel like DK is dealing with his personal demons right now. It's the difference between a couple weeks ago when I was saying DK is the second best wide receiver in the NFL, and when I said at his best, he's going to be the best wide receiver in the NFL, and his current performance of a little bit under par, but still better than most receivers. He has a touchdown in the game. He has 100 yards in the game. Everyone's like, oh yeah, that's a great stat line. Not for this guy. Not for 3% body fat over there. DK Metcalf has so much potential. He could be the best wide receiver in NFL history with this frame if he were to get his hands together and his mentality right. But that's all part of the we, us, our. I completely agree with the mentality problem. And if I may address something about the penalties that we were talking about earlier as well. We talk about the issues that we have with calls getting missed, and sometimes we care, sometimes we don't. I proposed a solution a while back, and I'd really love to hear what Norb, I know Steezy agrees with it. I want to hear what Norb has to say, and if Coach Marsh wouldn't mind pitching in as well. Some people complain that we spend too much time nowadays looking at replays, and I would say I disagree with that. I wouldn't mind spending more time as long as we get the calls right, but I'll agree to keep it the exact same amount of time. And I think we can all agree that human error can happen on any play. Any call can be missed for or against any given team because a referee misses it with his eyes. We're all human. That can happen. So why is it not true that coaches can challenge any given play that could be messed up by a referee? Why can we not challenge anything? You give coaches the same amount of challenges if they keep getting them right throughout a game on any given call that was missed or should have happened anyways. And if they keep getting them right, they're fixing the game. So you keep giving them more challenges. But why not allow coaches to challenge any play on the field? I never understood that, and I want to know what you guys have to say about it.
Let me jump in on that one. Well, they tried that experiment last year with challenging pass interference, right? And I think for the most part, we can kind of say that it didn't really work out. I don't know if it was just the way they set the rule up, but it felt like, for the most part, most of those calls weren't going to get overturned anyway. But I think the way they implemented it wasn't well done. I think they could have handled the implementation of that experiment in a better way. Because I'm with you. I feel like that there should be, whether you make any play challengeable or somehow set limits on it, there are pivotal ones, and again, like that holding call or the helmet, the helmet to helmet that he got called on, that if let's say this is the Super Bowl and the game's on the line and those plays change the outcome of the game, it would be terrible if that was the case. I mean, we had a Super Bowl, where the bad calls changed the outcome of the game in Super Bowl 40 with the Seattle Seahawks against the Steelers. So would we have liked to have had the ability to look at least one or two of those plays? Heck yeah, because it would have changed the game. We would have won Super Bowl 40 if not for a phantom holding call that we got called on, or a very tic-tacky, what they called pass interference that took a touchdown off the board. So for me, I don't really, it doesn't bother me that the game gets slowed down a little bit in order for that. I would rather them get it right. They get it right most of the times, but sometimes they don't. And I think it becomes crucial enough that they should have some kind of exception to be able to have maybe it's limited. Maybe they can only have that one penalty challenge, maybe one or two per half or something. So it's not crazy. You can't keep challenging every single play. But I feel like they should, because I'd hate to see that bite us or another team in a game where you go, man. We've seen a lot of games. The Saints got victim to a blatant pass interference call that they never got the call, and it prevented them from going to the Super Bowl. So I feel like they should be able to challenge penalties in order to get it right. But
Well, and Nord, part of the theory is that we keep the exact same amount of challenges. But if they keep getting them right, they keep getting additional. Right now you get a third. If you keep correcting the game, it's time versus correctness at that point. Like, at a certain point, the game's just taking too long that we can't get all the calls right. I don't agree with that logic. I don't think you will. But I'm saying you keep the exact same amount of challenges. So technically, the amount of time spent is going to be equal.
That's true, yeah, because you use them or you don't, but it's the same numbers. You're not adding challenges. Yeah, I agree. So before, I'm going to hear Bill's answer to that as well, but Band Ned with a super chat I missed earlier says, let Hawks cook. I agree to that. Alina Dahl contributed to the super chat, and then a follow-up one. She says, okay, going old school here, who is the better QB, Zorn or Craig? Also, who would you pick, Largent versus DK? All right, so we'll get to that in a second, but I want to finish this discussion about the penalties. You guys can weigh in as well. Do you guys like the idea of having instant replay to be able to challenge any play on this? You guys can weigh in. But Coach Marsh, I want to get your opinion since Squabo asked, just think, what was our opinions? Coach Marsh, what do you think?
Yeah, so I am not a fan at all of doing the instant replay, and really because of one main thing. Back in 1906, they created a rule, or they created something for football, and it's the one thing that hasn't changed over the course of time, and it's called 3 guys standing with 2 people at the end holding a 10-yard set of chains and a guy in the middle holding a stick. And until they create some sort of a laser beam that gets that accurate, everything else to me is kind of a moot point, because you could have instant replay on holding and instant replay on pass interference. So I love the element of let us be humans before we turn everything into high tech. And I hope they don't create that laser beam. But, to see things, I mean, there was just a couple of weeks back where a guy pulled the chain. It was 2 yards away, right? So to have instant replay that kind of bogs down the game a little bit, yes, there's times I know where we had the Saints situation a couple of years back where it was so blatantly obvious. But still, I just like the fact that it's humans that are making the call. Otherwise people will be questioning so many different things. And I like that kind of old school fact of, again, I go back to those 10 yards and those chains. The fact that we still rely on 2 guys holding the chain and trusting that they're pulling it tight and trusting that they're at the right spot and trusting that that's 10 yards. So, I'd rather, not to go against just go, but I would rather not have the instant replay, but mainly because of that. I'm a future guy. I love seeing the game evolve. But I also like some of those traditional trends. I hope we don't do something. I love seeing those chains come out and having the guy put the little marker down and pull it tight, and everybody's waiting to see. The players are over first. You're everything dictated on that. I don't like a guy up in a booth, who's maybe not trained around it too much to be dictating whether or not is it or is it not, because it's still his judgment too. So you're still doing judgment to judgment.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your counterpoint to that. I mean, it can be argued either way. Obviously, it's been debated quite a bit, and we'll see. Obviously, they backed off of it last year, and we'll see if it continues to evolve. If a game is decided by a very questionable call again, like it was what really got that pass interference challenge play activated last year was because of that Saints game. That's the reason why they brought challenge pass interference to light, because of that game. So it's going to take just one huge game where somebody gets screwed out of a win, and then it'll probably come back on the table again. So for now,
and that's how rules change. It takes one or two big things that happen, and then the rules committee start going, and then you go. So it's always because of something like that something comes up.
I remember there was a game in junior high where I was injured, so I couldn't play. So they made me do the job of being the down and distance guy. So you had the 2 chain guys, but I had to be the one to hold the 1, 2, 3, 4. And we were on this crappy field. Our field was crap. We didn't have lines. There was no field turf. It was basically mud turf. It was just grass and a lot of dirt with no lines or markers. They put the chalk out there, but it was raining. It was a messy game, so you can't even see any lines. And I'm trying to go, where's the ball at? Because you have no sense of reference. And then they'd go, okay, it's 4th down, measure it. And I'm going, God, I think I messed that one up. And so of course when it's my team, I'm like, a little bit more this way. Hey, we have the first down by this much. But I realized I could influence the game just by a little bit of a go this way a bit or a little bit over here, because when it came down to it, they measured it based on my stick. So if my judgment was off, the whole play hinged on that down and distance, hinged on what I did, and I had no, there was no accurate way to guess except eyeball it and look at the dirt and go, I think it's here, so that's how human it is. What's that?
Our minds have become so connected to those lines that television has had on for quite a few years now, right? You got the yellow line, the blue line, sometimes there's a red line. we're so used to seeing those that I know, having talked to coaches at the NFL level, via talking with Sherman and stuff, that he'll say, hey, our guys see it and they don't realize, those lines aren't there during the game. So they come up through college and everything else, and they get to the pros, and there's guys that have actually come into them and asked, hey, are we going to see something out there that tells us where the first down marker is? It's like, no, it's still 10 yards. You got to know, football IQ tells you that if we're at the 22, we got to get to the 32. So, everybody notices that when Russell goes to the sideline, how he puts the football out right before he goes out of bounds. A lot of the times he gets those extra 2 yards. People sometimes wonder, does reaching that ball out there help him? Yeah, it does. If they have to come back and recheck it, there's where your instant replay comes back in. Mm-hmm. They'll look at that. But sometimes in the middle of the field, guys don't necessarily know that, man, that can make a difference, and go up the field or reach that extra yard to get it. And you'll see guys that don't have that spatial awareness still, even up into the NFL. They don't realize what 10 yards is, or it's 3rd and 17, run your route to 19 before you turn back to 17 and such. So yeah, Norb, your whole career could have changed on that play in junior high, depending on which direction you went.
It was funny is I remember taking somebody who had only watched, had never been to a game before, and was just watching on TV, and we were sitting watching the game at essentially Link Field, and the game started, and they were watching and trying to figure out where things are. They go, "Where's the yellow line at?"
Yeah. Yes.
That's only on TV. But you get used to it. Now they got the yellow line, they got the blue line of the line of scrimmage. So you have all these things telling you. You got the little clock that's telling you the time. You got the first and down and distance. It's amazing all the information that you're fed nowadays, and the way that they're able to implement the graphics in such a transparent way that you don't notice that it's there. It's just kind of part of the field. It's incredible. But
and that's why we're all yelling for Russ to snap the ball, and it's like
because we can see it.
Play he's got to check the defense. He's got to get the line communicated. He's got to look at the clock, then back to the defense. Check the receivers back to it. But he, as much as I hate that it always seems to run down to one, he does a great job for the most part of seeing it or recognizing it and calling the timeout. I mean, that is where he's an expert in that spot.
Yeah. I got to bring back to playing Madden has been so educational for me, because even my dad has watched my streams of playing that game, and he even realized, oh wow, I didn't realize how all the routes work and all this kind of stuff. But there's so many times when I'm running a pass play, and I know I got to give DK several seconds to get down the field on a deep post pattern or something, and I'm just watching him. I'm waiting for him to get open. Of course, I'm not looking at the linebacker who's coming off the edge, so I'm just looking at him, and then all of a sudden, pow! I was like, oh shoot, I forgot all about the guy rushing. So again, not that that's what it's like to be a quarterback, but you do have to process so much information from what you see, where the guys are going, who's in front of you, who's coming around the outside. I mean, it blows my mind how much they got to process, and this is like video game level that and even that's overwhelming. But these guys don't get enough credit for what they do to be fast, intelligent, on your feet, and skilled at the same time. It does blow me away. So. I got a shout out to
real quick.
Yeah. But let me recognize Ban Ned in the super chat. Said, "Hey, happy birthday, Alina! You must be on a good one. Go Hawks! Woo!" I think because there's a lot of birthday chats going on in the chat. This is awesome. What were you gonna say, Bill? Before we talk about the Eagles game,
I know Steezy's talked about when DK said the yes to having a different quarterback play. Squad, what was your response to that? Again, did you like that he did that, or you didn't like it?
I said we can't read too much into it because we don't know exactly what he was saying with that.
Okay. And my response to it is, I mean, it's entertainment. So I'm not the fuddy-duddy guy that doesn't want guys to celebrate. Like I think it's funny. I love that he's willing to do it, but I do agree with what you said, Squad. With it, if you're a starter and you're doing those things, great. But if you're kind of the backup or you're somewhere else, maybe that's not your time to do it. And I think the fact that, again, DK got beat by, I think it was 160 points the 2 times he played him, it's just a little mental mind game. And that's just where we are with social media, right? The only person I think that can impact, press clippings the way it used to be is Bill Belichick. And that's when he had Brady, obviously. I don't think anybody else really has anything that takes place now that guys would go into the locker room, and a Pete Carroll or, maybe John Gruden. Like, I'd love to be in a locker room where some of the team did something against the Raiders. I think John Gruden would come in and, give a little something and probably try to find an old newspaper to post up on the wall. But I don't think DK saying anything is changing anything in Philadelphia. I mean, it's people in Philadelphia. I mean, what DK says, I don't think is impacting those people.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
great people,
maybe it really isn't a big thing. But, when you think about it, though, if Metcalf is actually saying Jalen Hurts should start, isn't actually the bad call, because you said that he actually lost to Jalen Hurts, so wouldn't actually that be counterintuitive to that he might be the better alternative than Carson Wentz, who's obviously struggling?
But I would argue that taking a guy who's in college and putting a younger guy in the NFL versus, even though I think Carson is already on the downside, he's proven that he can play some good games, and he's proven that he can play well and that he can make some passes. He hasn't done it of late, but again, I think that's kind of what he's doing there is let's not see the guy who's proven that he can play and he can make a few throws, and he's a big quarterback. Put a younger kid in there and let's see what he can do against us, against like we are now. We're playing well this last week. So yeah, put him in there on 10 days rest where we can prepare.
All right, let's talk about that now. Are we ready to put the Cardinals game behind us? We got all those stones turned over and talked about. Are we ready to talk a little bit of Eagles here? All right, let's do it. So, obviously, I was talking about at the beginning of the show, and we've all been anticipating, we can breathe, because once we get past the Cardinals, it's going to get easy. Right, and hopefully us as fans can say that. We hope the Seahawks aren't thinking that, because they got to play and they got to bring their A game no matter who they're playing. But we as fans can feel like, okay, the Seattle Seahawks should have an easier time with the next 4 games, because we're playing the Eagles, the Giants, the Jets, and the Washington football team, all with sub 500 records. One team with no wins at all in the Jets. Should be wins that we need to have before we then go back to the NFC West again, facing a rematch with the LA Rams and then finally the 49ers to end the season. So with this Philadelphia game, I always forget this. Before we turn the page on the Cardinals, we did do score predictions, and I always take the video of that to show what we said and how we did with it. So before we go to the Eagles, let's look back one final time. Last week on the show, here is what we said about how the Cardinals-Seahawks game would turn out. Check it out.
38-35, Seahawks win.
We come out on top 32, Seattle, Arizona 27.
Seattle winning 24-13.
The Cardinals will defeat the Seahawks by a score of 21-17. Okay. All right. So you guys were right. I mean, nobody really nailed the score. I was completely wrong. So Squabble, you said 38-35. Steezy, you said 32-27. Coach Bill, you said 24-13. The actual score was 28-21, meaning Squabble, you're a little bit too high and too close margin. Steezy, you were pretty close, 32-27, a little on the high side. But then Bill, you were, maybe you were the closest, 24-13, in that you were only 3 off from the Seahawks score and a little bit lower on.
And at one point it was 23-14 with only about 8 minutes left to go, so I thought I was going to be right on it.
That's true. So I would have to say, Coach Bill, that you probably were the closest in nailing that score. So
that's great, because I know I'll get my rear end kicked like last week in the when we do the quizzes. So we'll do the quiz.
All right, so
I crushed last week.
So you guys all got it right, at least on which team won. But Coach Bill, I think you got the closest to the pin on that one. So congratulations on that. All right, so let's now talk about the Eagles game. I guess let's go into just what do the Seahawks need to do in order to not make this a trap game. And when we go all the way over to the Eagles, Estesius, let's hear from you. And I guess you can also roll into your keys at the end of that too.
Gotcha. As Noah alluded to earlier, once again, Carson Wentz is leading the league in turnovers, and one of the reasons why is because their offensive line is last in the league in sacks allowed. I think they've allowed 40 sacks on the season, which is a completely which is completely different from their defensive line, because their defensive line is one of the best in all of football. I think they're second in the league in sacks, but their offensive line is one of the worst in giving up sacks. And so Carson Wentz, I get it. He's having a terrible year, but you can't attribute all that on, or you can't put all that on Carson Wentz. His offensive line has been absolutely terrible. And so, looking at the way that we've been generating a pass rush in the last couple of games, I think one of the things that we should definitely look to do, apply pressure. Even if he isn't pressured, he's still turning the football over at a record rate. And so I want to see us do what you guys have been saying for the last couple of weeks now, not only just blitz, but disguise those blitzes. We don't want to give Carson Wentz, or we don't want to be the team to give Carson Wentz his first good game of the season, because he's yet to have one. And so I want to see us, send some pressures or some blitzes his way. And I understand that their run defense is one of the best in the league, but seeing that Chris Carson is set to return, I want to see us start running the football again. I mean, it worked tremendously for us, against Arizona. Carlos Hyde, he could do his thing. A lot of people want to talk about Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt as the best running back duo in the NFL, but I think Chris Carson and Carlos Hyde might have a little something to say about that. I'm not going to say that they're better than Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, but I think that they could definitely give those two guys a run for their money. I think we have an absolute stud duo with those two guys, and so I want to see us run the football. I want to see us go after Carson Wentz, and I want to see us go back to being those takeaway warriors that we were. We haven't had any takeaways in the last couple of games, but we're still tied for 5th in the NFL in total takeaways. And so Carson Wentz, once again, as Noah said, he's leading the league in turnovers, and so hopefully when we apply some pressure and send some blitzes his way, hopefully that leads to a couple turnovers for us. And I want to see us play another clean game once again. I want to see us utilize the quick passing game just because their pass rush is so ferocious. And so, as we've talked about before, one of the ways to neutralize a pass rush is to, utilize the quick passing game. And that's something that we actually started to do this last game against the Cardinals. We started going a little more up-tempo. And so why not bring some of those same concepts into this game? I think that we have the Eagles' number. we beat them twice last season, once in the playoffs. And both those times we're in Philly, same score, 17-9. And so I think as long as we do some of those things, those are my keys, come out with the victory.
All right, so summarize, so just to kind of put it in bullet point form, your 3 keys are to beating the Eagles.
Key number 1, let's go after Carson Wentz, apply some pressure. Key number 2, run the football. I think it's simple. And then number 3, let's hopefully hope for a few takeaways because Carson Wentz, he's a turnover machine, plain and simple. So.
All right. Squabo, let's go to you, man. Give me your kind of overall take, the game plan, what Seattle needs to do to beat the Eagles, and share your 3 keys to that.
Every single week, when we play teams of similar skill levels and similar talents, like the Rams, the Cardinals, the Bills, I'll come out and I'll say certain things that are very specific to our matchup that we need to do in order to be successful. Against a team that we are clearly the superior team, I cannot see us losing unless we do all of these 3 things wrong in at least some form or fashion, or have one of these completely ruin our game. And those 3 things, first of all, and the most likely one that could ruin our game if we were to somehow lose to the Eagles, would be if we lost a turnover battle, something like 4-0. So as long as we win the turnover battle, I cannot see us losing to Philadelphia. Another reason that we might lose to Philadelphia, this one's a little bit less likely even still, is for us to have a ridiculous amount of penalties and a ridiculous amount of yards in crucial situations. So let's say under 10 penalties, let's stay under 8 penalties if possible. 8 seems to be kind of the magic number. We had 8 last week and we barely scraped away. So if we can stay under 8, I'm pretty sure we're going to beat Philadelphia. And then finally, Steezy mentioned it perfectly well. Their pass rush is elite. Their protection of their quarterback is horrible. We need to win the sack battle. That means we need to have a lot more sacks than them. I want us to win this battle by at least 4 sacks. I've gone on record and said this week I think we're going to have 7 sacks. I think it's going to be an explosive game for our pass rush. I think it's a get-right game. I think we're getting our swagger back, and I think our guys are finally having a chance to acclimate into our defense together. And I think our unity is growing, and because of that, I say we get 7 sacks in this game. So once again, my 3 keys for victory against Philadelphia: win the turnover battle, don't have a lot of penalties, less than 8, and win the sack battle by at least 4.
Wow, I would love to see 7 sacks. Is that what you said? 7 sacks in this game? Bold prediction? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And how many does Carlos Dunlap? How many does Carlos Dunlap and Jamal Adams get of those 7?
Dunlap will have 2. Jamal will have 2. Collier will have 1.
All right. Wait, you said 2, 2, and 1. The rest is going to be somebody else. Okay.
I got to have some room for error.
Yeah. All right. I love it. Coach Marsh, give me your take on the game, your 3 keys. Break it down for me.
Well, I think the fact that we've had this extension of almost like a bye, in a season where everybody's getting 1 bye, and we've talked about the injuries and some of those things. The timing of this couldn't have been more perfect. And knowing, Pete Carroll, the way he's worked over the last, decade or so, he's more a mental preparation guy. So he's given them basically 3.5, nearly 4 days off for some of those guys from last weekend, Thanksgiving. So I think working that mental preparation, part of that, I honestly believe, is going to be one game at a time, but we have to start preparing for the playoffs. And so that's where I got to my 3 keys, which number 1 is making sure that we control the clock. And by controlling the clock, I'm thinking, again, Russell Wilson doing his typical, 19 for 22, right around 200 yards, a couple touchdowns, no interceptions, just everything smart, methodical, changing the tempo a little bit, running back by committee, get Carson back in there, let him do his thing, but not overuse him. So controlling the clock's the first one. Second one, I agree with everybody in the roundtable that we have to win the turnover margin. I like it always to be a +3. And the fact that we haven't had, many of the last few weeks, love to get us a couple fumbles. Maybe, obviously a scoop and score is great because your goal is always to score on defense. So if we can control the clock, if we can win the turnover margin, and the third one is always going to be special teams. We have to stay consistent in special teams, but I'd like to see a score on that as well. And I'm talking beyond PAT and field goal, because every team, again, like I said, your goal every game is to score 7 on defense, score 7 on special teams. And then if you can put up, 7 each quarter, that's going to get you to 42 points. But if you can at least get to 14 of those offensive points and get 7-7, you're at 28. That's the recipe for a playoff offense. And we know we got the guy who's ready to cook it. So control the clock, turnover margin, win the battle, special teams, got to score. I think we're going to handle them pretty well.
All right. So for my keys to this game, I just got to preface my 3 with the win the turnover battle, because that one is going to always be in my keys. So it always starts with winning the turnover battle, because we have won every game that we won the turnover battle in. So that goes without saying. So for my first one, I'd like to have you guys seen that show Cobra Kai?
Yes.
Okay,
so many times it's been recommended on YouTube. Oh my god!
Okay, Cobra Kai is a fantastic show, and if you guys didn't see the original, we're talking 1984, I think it was, Karate Kid, which was a show I loved, growing up. A movie. The show after the first movie, it kind of got stupid, but the first movie was fantastic with Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san. It was such a good show. Anyway, so from Cobra Kai, though, they've done a great job of modernizing it to the current day. But the Cobra Kai slogan in their dojo is "Strike first, strike hard, no mercy." And in their dojo, the guys be like, "Strike hard, strike hard, right? Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir." So that's their slogan. And I'm saying Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, the whole Seattle offense needs to adopt the Cobra Kai mentality. Kind of like I did when I played Madden this week. I struck hard, I struck first, struck hard, no mercy on those Eagles. I blew those guys away early in the first half. The game was over before halftime. I was faking field goals in the first half because I was so far ahead. So Seattle needs to do it. They need to step on the gas. They need to do what they were doing last week against the Cardinals, and don't even give Philadelphia a chance to breathe. They should step on their neck and step on it, crush the windpipe. Sorry, I don't mean to be graphic, but come on, man. They're a limping dog, limping down the freeway, and they just need to run it over a few times. You know what I'm saying? So that sounds really mean. I really love dogs, so please don't take that as an anti-dog thing. I really love puppies. My daughter loves them and wants to get one, but unfortunately our whole family is allergic. But that's a whole other side. So Cobra Kai, that's what they got to do on offense. Secondly, Chris Carson is back, and I can't tell you how excited I am, because if we could see what Carlos Hyde did last week, what more can Chris Carson do with this rested period, fresh and ready to go? I think he's itching to prove. Again, he's got something to prove. He's got money to make. He's got a contract to play for. And this season, he's been gone for the last few games, but he can still earn that money by saying, "Hey, rest of the league, I can tear this field up this point on and show that I can be there and bring my A game into the playoffs." So Carson needs to be a man with his hair on fire. I'd like to see him get close to 100 yards in this game. We don't need to strike first, strike hard can be part of that run game. I think Chris Carson should be striking hard, striking fast as he's running up the gut, getting contact, dragging players for 5 yards. So Chris Carson, I want to see him get close to 100 yards. I think if he gets 100 yards, we're winning this game. Absolutely, no doubt, because that means Russ is going to cook. When they do a little play action, they'll bite to stop him on the run. And then Russ will just see DK all alone in the corner of the end zone with a 45-yard bomb. So that's going to happen if Chris Carson gets 100 yards. And finally, I'm going to borrow a term from Chris Sims from Pro Football Talk. He called it being tactically aggressive. I love that term. And that's what we did last week. We were tactically aggressive, meaning we were blitzing, we were aggressive, but we weren't just like, hey guys, we're coming in. We were being aggressive, but we were like saying, we're coming in, but are we or are we not? Nope, we're coming back. Nope, we are coming for you. And I think if we keep doing that, disguising what we do, then I think we're going to be able to get those 7 sacks that Squabo was talking about. And now that we're starting to see pressure from the front four, ever since Carlos Dunlap got on to the Seahawks, I wish I had the numbers in front of me. Jaron Reed had something like 3 sacks in 15 games or some crazy thing like that. And now since Carlos Dunlap has joined the squad, he's had 3 sacks in 3 games. Isn't that correct? Did you guys verify that with me? Something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I might be off by a little bit, but the point is, Jaron Reed struggled to get a sack in practically an entire season, whereas now that Carlos Dunlap is to his side somewhere, suddenly the guy is getting into the backfield because now you've got talent from multiple sides and they have to spread the offensive line to cover these different threats, opening it up for other guys. So those are my 3 keys. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Chris Carson, get him close to 100 yards or over 100 yards. And 3, defense continue to be tactically aggressive. We do those 3 things, and of course, win the turnover battle. We're going to dominate in this game.
No, I got to reply to it, man. Because I swear, do you have a hover or what the drone? Do you have a drone that follows me around? Because I was with a family member today, and I also saw a friend from a little ways away. I actually had a Cobra Kai shirt on today. No lie.
You should have wore it, man.
I had a Cobra Kai shirt on today. Well, I knew that we're supposed to dress up, so I did. I put a zip up on and put my sweats over my shorts.
But would have been cool if you zipped and went Cobra Kai right here.
I have never binge watched a show in my life. I'm 48. I don't, I watch TV. I watch some other things. All of a sudden, I got hooked on a Cobra Kai, and it's only because I saw it was a 23-minute episode. I thought, okay, love Karate Kid, but this is going to be Saved by the Bell, those type of shows come, matches with Cobra Kai. Man, oh man, I started binge watching that thing and over and over and over, and then all of a sudden, that end of the episode, 2nd season, I'm like, man, when's the third episode starting? I mean, it's great. And so so listening to you get fired up, it reminded me of when we would play that even though I'm saying for Rusty, control and all those other things. Yes, I want to see some of those high aspect things, because some of my rules as a player or as a coach were that we were going to run the first trick play of a game. First quarter, first drive, whether it's opening with an onside, flea flick, whatever, you're always going to see it from us first. And that's, some leadership stuff and everything that we like to do there. The other thing is, when I spoke at clinics, I would tell coaches that I knew were in the room in our league, if you turn the ball over inside the 50-yard line on your half of the field, I'm going deep. I'm just telling you, I'm going deep right off the bat, because we're going to kill your will. And that's one thing that, again, when we talked about the personality of a team, those are the type of things I think you're looking for, right? I still want to see us under control, but of course I'd love to see us get Metcalf right after we throw, a big play. And the final one that it reminded me of is, and you heard me say it many times, and I won't say the whole thing, when it came to the running game, we would say, we're having struggles in the first half. We got to get back to the point where we're going to run it down your throat and out your back door. And we didn't say back door, we were saying it there, and you'd beep it out and stuff. And that was about as much as I would say in terms of swearing, because I didn't allow swearing out there with our team. But that was the energy. So when you said Cobra Kai, man, it kind of flipped a little switch in me, a little personality switch. It took me back to the days of, definitely the fun stuff of coaching, because it's not to plug Cobra Kai, but man, that's entertaining stuff. It's kind of like Peyton's Places. 22 minutes is about as long as my brain span will go on something, unless I'm involved in it like this. So yeah, it's I highly recommend Peyton's Places when you're not watching any of these 3 guys or any of the others. But yeah, Cobra Kai, man. Norb, I think you play the part pretty well there. There's some good energy came out of you right there, man.
I'm telling you, this is junior high period, man. Or maybe it's high school.
That's not high school. To go.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you that I can't wait. That show's gonna. I think the new season starts after the beginning of the year or something. My kids love it too. It's great to play the show my kids love that I love too.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Well, like I said, I mean, it's the fact they threw some stuff from the old school into it, it took away some of the, and I don't want to call it cheesy, but it did feel like, some of those shows I would watch with my kids when they were younger, like, okay, how's this going to work? And man, oh man, but that Daniel, who plays Daniel LaRusso? Who's the guy? Ralph
Macchio.
Man, the age of that guy, he's 50 something years old, 59 years old.
I know he almost looks as good as I do. I mean, that's how good he looks, to maintain. Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you're, what are you, 38, Norb?
38
but
going
I'm 48, and he's 11 years older than me.
Yeah,
and the other guy, I don't know his name in real life, he's 55.
Yeah.
It's like, man, what happened?
Yeah.
But it's great that they're coming back and doing stuff. So yeah, fun I'm telling you, man, growing up in the 80s, greatest time ever.
Oh yeah,
greatest time ever.
It was great. There was a lot of cheese ball stuff, but man, it was fun. And Squabo, Steezy, have you guys watched it?
The Karate Kid?
Yeah. Cobra Kai, the series.
I haven't.
Oh, Steezy!
No, this is how I relate it though. It's like when we were kids and our parents going, "Hey, there's this great John Wayne movie from 1953. Like you're going to love it, man." Like,
I know, but I'm not telling them. I'm not telling them watch Karate Kid from the '80s. I'm talking to them to watch the show that's current now. That if my kids can watch it, that means anybody can watch it because it's cool enough for them to watch. It's one of their favorite shows. You guys don't know what you're missing, man. You can check it out.
You should do a reaction video to. I'll watch you do reactions to season 3.
Oh, I might have to do that because that's what we're watching.
Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do a spinoff. I'll do reactions to Cobra Kai.
Okay, I'll do a reaction. You do reactions to my reactions, and then Squabble can do reactions to your reactions to my reactions, and we'll just get a little chain going.
Chain reactions. Yeah.
All right, so I think we covered it. Is there anything else? Because we do have trivia, by the way. Trivia courtesy of MC Stove on Discord. He shared with me his Kahoot. I made a couple of changes to make it a little more Thanksgiving oriented, but for the most part, I used his trivia. So thank you, MC Stove on Discord. Anything else before we pivot to that? Any last things you want to say?
Real quick, because I know we'll do the stuff quick. The football's behind me. I'm going to kind of change my background anytime I get invited. And again, so appreciate that you invited me back, and hope I get to do it again in the future. But starting on this side over here is actually the Duke football, which the NFL went back to this year, but it was a football that was used a long, long time ago. It wasn't that color when they played, but it was a heavier football, and I'm a big historian of the game. And if you watch Peyton's Place, again, Peyton Manning does a show where he actually goes back and they show the different footballs that take place. So that's the Duke football. The next one is a football from 1976. Every Seattle Seahawk that played on the 1976 football team signed it. So it's got the Seahawk logo, and I brought this up because you had shown you had a really neat NorbCam football. Really, really cool. Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
that's the same one.
Same one. Yeah, I got the same one. So I had it all autographed. That was a gift I got early on. And then on this side over here, that was one of my bigger wins. So not to make it personal, but I had to bring out just a personal one of mine. And then an actual authentic NFL football. And then my favorite one, which I don't know you'll actually be able to see, but it's because it's my son's birthday. I put a little personal shout out. It actually has the Batman logo, burned into it because that was his nickname as a player, as a wide receiver. And it's kind of a bummer that right now we'd be ideally where it was last year. They were in the state semifinals, getting ready to play for the title the following week. And Thanksgiving week has always been a huge week for high school football, all around, but definitely in the state of Washington. You'd be out there 20 degrees tomorrow getting ready for practice. Those are best practices I was ever a part of, man, doing those. So anyway, I'll always, when I jump on, I'll try to be a little historian of some fun stuff that might be interesting or intriguing. But I know there's a NorbCam football out there somewhere too.
I was going to say you're missing one particular ball.
I didn't get it. I saw it came out yesterday or today. Yeah. I love how it chromed in the green.
You like that? It's like semi-transparent.
The green screen football.
Look at it. So Squabo can look right through. So look into my eyes, he says. Anyway, I got to do a shameless plug because we did a whole video about this, but we are pushing the Discord. It's we call it the Norbcord. It's the NorbCam Discord. But I want to invite you guys. The link is in the description. But join it because we're trying to get up to 2,000 members. I think we're about 1,200 maybe and climbing. But when we hit 2,000, we're gonna give away this ball to one of the members on Discord. So join so you can be part of that. Doesn't cost anything. It's just a free thing. It's a really cool social community where you can talk football. You can talk to me on game day streams, and they have contests and other kind of stuff in there as well. So the guys who run it are great. A bunch of middle school guys running this Discord. Is like, these guys are amazing.
And I want to plug that real too, because what I love about Steezy and Squabble, sorry, I didn't mean to throw out your real name there, buddy, I don't know if that's some sort of taboo on
no,
YouTube
it's okay.
Live and stuff. Like,
we're just trying to promote their nicknames.
But the fact that you got younger guys that are doing the stuff that you guys are doing, I mean, you're inspiring me, and I said that off the air when I was talking to you guys, just how much you guys have been inspiring me just the last few weeks since I got to know you. But just even with this Discord, the fact that Norb, you got these guys that are younger kids that have put together this really, really awesome thing, and it's working, right? They're proving that it's working. And I think we get so caught up in that you have to be an older statesman in anything in life to be able to do something, or you have to learn from somebody older. Man, I'm flipping the switch on that in my own life. Like, I love going to younger people and saying, hey, I want you to show me. Like, I don't need to be the mentor. I will be, but I want you to be the mentor. So the fact, Norb, that you've got this group of kids, I think there's 6 of them. I watched part of your Discord piece you did. That's awesome. So I hope that everybody that's watching now or watching in the future, jump on that Discord. Let's support those kids that are doing something really, really cool to make this show better, make these guys better. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
And what's cool about what's cool about the whole Discord thing is that, Mike Lorraine, he's like the other half of mine at Quantum Productions that worked with Bill during the heyday of Eastside Catholic working together. So Mike makes his appearances as 80s Broncos fan. So it's actually his son. He's the one who started this Discord for me because he was already doing one for his middle school. And then Mike actually said, hey, Mike, Norb, you should have Brett do a Discord for you. I think it'd be really good for your fans and for people to be able to talk to you and have a little more control. And that way you don't get the crazy people going there pulling their pants down and stuff during live streams. We can kind of have a little more control with guys who actually care about it and want to make sure that only the right people are in there. So he took it and then got a bunch of people.
I was going to have people do that on my show.
I don't know. Maybe if I did a whole show where people could just take their pants off all the time, I'd have like 1 million views.
Oh my God. The Randy Moss special. It's going to be the Randy Moss special, man.
1 million views, then banned from YouTube. Anyway,
Steve, man, I'm just playing with you, buddy.
Oh, of course, comes off when
I know it, man. Good stuff.
All right, so we appreciate that, you guys, for allowing us to go down memory lane a few times during all this. But let's get to the trivia, shall we? Again, thank you to MC Stove on Discord who shared this with me. And I want to encourage anybody, if you guys want to share Seahawks-themed trivia with me on Kahoot, just create one, share it with me. My username is NorbCam12 on Kahoot, so you can send that over to me, and I will look at it. I look at all the ones I got, and I have several more that are coming, and I'll try to put it on the show because it makes my work easier not having to make a new one, and I can use your guys' brilliance to do it. So get your Kahoot apps at Kahoot.com ready because we are going to do trivia. NorbCam Thanksgiving trivia. Here we go. Let's get it rolling. All right, get ready. Here is the number. This is going to be good. Some easy ones and some hard ones. The PIN number is 376-2571. 376-2571. And my favorite part is to watch all the nicknames come flying by. 376-2571. And there's Nick, Yellow Dog, Aiden Pham, Russ DK 2020, Devo, Tyler Lockett G, Mehul, Honest Gator 14, King Craig, Go Hawks, Panther Fan, DK's Insta, Rain City, Seahawks for Life, Norb's Hairpiece. Hey, hold on a second. This is all natural, baby. This is all hairpiece. This is like hair clip for men. Hey, with a fuse
leaking down the side of your
welcome
face.
Welcome to the pubic hair restoration clinic. It's really curly now. No, this is my real locks right here, baby. It ain't going nowhere. Diego.
Ryan Bowes just asked if we could sell car insurance, and now you're talking about that stuff. We're gonna be all over the map on this thing.
NorbCam's wig, Squabo Small BA, Let Dunlap Eat, Norb Come On, Fast Story 22. What's that? DK Small BA? What's that supposed to be? I like when you guys get pulled into these nicknames. Seahawks Fan 1219, BJ is 15 tomorrow, DJ Dallas Insta, Russ for MVP. Schmilligod is back. Schmilligod. I haven't seen Schmilligod. I haven't seen Schmilligog, but not Schmilligod. Squabo Ugly. Oh, come on now. Guess who beat Norb's bandwagon? Asian Dad.
Who's saying that?
Asian Dad was the first guy to win this thing. The very first trivia. Remember, it was Asian Dad. Very first winner of that thing. Let Russ Cook. Norb's hair. Big fan Norb. Cameron Hughes. Biggest Chungus. Squabo COC. Oh boy. Noah's hairline. I like your CTG. You guys they're like, they know where the line is, and they go right up to it with their toes and just don't quite cross over. Bucks
pull
fan.
the chain. It's a first down. It's almost a first down.
Listen, by that much, squabble is by scrambled eggs. Bay? What's bay? What's bay? I'm reading it phonetically. What's bay? This is norb-the-goat.com. Oh, yeah, that's a good website. Then you get that one. Steezy Weezy. Schminnish-squab. We should just do a show on nicknames. We just do this all day.
Waka answers on this.
Oh, yeah. Waka. No, it's Waka. I listened to that show, how to pronounce it, and then I forgot. Waka. Waka Wakwa, I think is what it is. Champion Yeti 55, Justin S. Panther, Freddie Swain. All right, we gotta set a limit. I'm in like this is the whole show now. 15 seconds. Joey D. Go Pat Go. Willie. Cool is cool. Nick Ballore. 5 seconds. 4. Let Norb cook. 3, 2. Schmillisties. We got all kinds of Schmillisties. Schmillisquab. Scooby don't.
Oh man, these are hilarious.
Did we get any Cobra Kai anything?
Scooby don't. I don't know why that's so funny. I've never heard that before. Scooby don't. Norb's Hair Inc. Okay, I do sometimes darken the lights in here. I won't lie. I'm 51 for crying out loud. Jesus, give me a break. Hot girl, DK. All right, it's just time to put an end to this stuff. All right, 3, 2, 1. Angel snuck in, and we're off. All right, NorbCam Kahoot, Thanksgiving style by MC Stove on Discord. First question. What was the score in the 2016 overtime game against the Cardinals where both kickers missed game winners? 12-12, 24-24, 3-3, or 6-6? What was the score in the 2016 overtime game against the Cardinals where both kickers missed game winners? 12-12, 24-24, 3-3, or 6-6? That game sucked, by the way. Ties always suck. Nobody wins. Oh, yeah. Piece of cake. Told you there's some easy ones. That was one of the easiest ones. 44 of you guys got that one correct. Yeah, that was a 6-6 game. Couldn't believe that one. That was likely the last year they allowed the defender to do that run up and jump over the pile because Bobby Wagner did that in that game.
Yeah.
Amazing play. All right, let's go to the panel. Steez.
I mean, it might have been easy for everybody else, but I said 12-12.
Oh, what? Oh, you didn't remember that game? Oh, my goodness.
I did. It was just a score that kind of slipped out of my mind, but I was a little slippery.
Okay, all right. So not so easy. Squabo, how's your memory? You got it. All right. Coach Marsh.
Yeah, my first ever lead, or at least tied for the lead. Because you remember games based on plays, and that was exactly what came to my mind, the play that you said. So
the Bobby Wagner.
6-6. Yep. Got
we did the Cam Chancellor did it first twice in that NFC champ. Was it an NFC championship game? Or was it regular season? I can't remember.
Divisional.
Divisional. Sorry, not NFC championship. Divisional game. Yeah. And it was funny, but when Cam Chancellor did it, he didn't actually block the ball either time. He never actually blocked the ball. I mean, he was right there, and somehow the kicker one time missed, and one went like right between. Yeah, he was right there. Like, how did he not block it? But it was an amazing feat of athletic feat. All right, so we got 1 point Bill, 1 point Squabo. Steezy yet to get on the board.
We should stop there and declare a winner.
Well, it'd be a tie like the 6-6 game. That's no fun. All right, let's go to the scoreboard in YouTube. I'm sure there's no ties here. Oh, there's a tie! Good thing we can stop right here and have ties everywhere. Tyler Lockett G at first, Norb's Pee-Pee in second. Come on now. Aiden Pham in third. I Have No Chill fourth. Tied with Malcolm Butler in fifth. All right, man, you guys are getting like PG-13.
Who's running the filter on these things?
I know, man. All right, next, because technically not a curse word. All right, number 2. Which of these teams will not play on Thanksgiving Day? Houston Texans, Washington football team, The Pittsburgh Steelers or the Chicago Bears? Oh, you know what? There's a flaw in here. But it got messed up. Which of these things will I play on Thanksgiving? Texans, Washington, Steelers, or Bears? And this is messed up because the news changed on me. Well, you could have gotten 2 answers right. And I feel for the 24 because I know what happened. I apologize in advance because I made this question. This is actually one that I made before I've stuck this question myself. But this is before they canceled the game. I made this scoop before they canceled it. So technically, there was 2 right answers here because most of you got this one right. 44 got Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears were not slated to play tomorrow. The Steelers were supposed to play the Ravens in the late game tomorrow night, and they got canceled because of COVID. So technically, Chicago Bears and the Steelers would have been the right answer. So 24 of you guys got hosed on YouTube, but there's nothing I can do about it. So I mean, all I can do is offer you my sincerest apologies. However, for the panel, you could have 2 correct answers. So let's see what we got. Steezy.
I said the Bears.
All right, so you got it right straight up. Squabo.
I got it.
Bill.
Yeah, I actually had the Steelers because I had not heard that component of all the news I had today. Did not pick up on that one. So.
Wait. So you guessed?
I didn't get it right.
You didn't get it right. Oh, okay. So what was your guess?
Pittsburgh. So I got it right, but I didn't get it right.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it. I know that the cancellation. I'd found out about it. But I didn't find out about it till you're.
But I said I would accept both those answers in this.
Oh, well, if you're accepting it, then yeah.
So I will give that to you because technically the Steelers are not going to play Thanksgiving. And if you said the Steelers, I don't care where your brain was at. The answer is correct. So 2 points Bill, 2 points Squabble, 1 point Steezy in a tight game. Let's go to the YouTube scoreboard. Again, for those of you who said this answer, 24, my apologies. Things changed after I realized that the trivia was going to be impacted by this. Here we go. Aiden Pham in first, Malcolm Butler in second, Let Russ Cook in third, Norb's Hair Inc. in fourth, Poppy Chulo Norb in fifth. So we got major changes in there. Here we go to the next question. Number 3, true or false? The Seahawks record against the Rams for the past 3 years is 2-4. True or false? The Seahawks record against the Rams for the past 3 seasons is 2-4. True or false? Seahawks record against the Rams for the past 3 years is 2-4. True or false? Time is up. All right, most of you on YouTube got this correct. 50 of you said true, and the answer is true. True. Let's go to Steezy. I hate true-false questions because you have a 50-50 chance of getting it, but you also have a 50-50 chance of screwing up a really easy question. Question is, how did our panel do? Steezy.
Well, I was of the latter. I screwed up an easy question. I was thinking we were like 1-5, so that's why I was like false.
I'm trusting in MC Stove on Discord to have done the research. But I think that's correct, though. I mean, we beat them last year in the in the field goal that missed by Legatron, and then what the previous. I know we beat them another time. Which was the other time? I'd have to remember.
That's pretty good. You know that we beat them last time, and you know that there's 2 wins in the truth, so you knew that we did beat them another time.
Yeah, I know, but I can't remember which one it was. But I'm just saying, I was trying to remember which game it was, but it's not coming to me. I can't remember if it was at home or if it was away. I know we lost. Anyway, let's go to Squabble. Squabble?
So, check it out. Because I knew for a fact that
Squabble has the facts on this.
I knew for a fact that we're 1-4 in our last 5 games. And if we're 1-4 in our last five, the stat would keep going if we were 1-6 or 1-5, you know? So that means the other game had to have been a win. So that means we are 2-4 within our last 6 games.
Okay. That's good logic. But you don't remember the other one, do you?
I don't recall it, but I know it was at the beginning of the 3-year span.
Yeah. It's weird that I can't remember. I can't remember if it was at home or away. That's weird. I should know this.
I was positive it was away, and I knew the same thing in terms of it being we had gone 1-5. I just couldn't think of going all the way back. Was it the 6th game? I'm positive it was a road win down there.
Cameron Hughes, who's very smart.
Then.
Yeah, are you looking at that too? Cameron Hughes says the Week 5 game in 17. Now, was that the away game? Was that at home?
And I could be wrong, but
I just can't picture the win. It's weird. I can't picture
Someone's got to
it.
put it in the comment.
Was it the one on the road with Earl Thomas and Sheldon Richardson? Wait, did we win that one?
We won 24-3, December 15th, 2016.
Oh, that was at home in the Greens against.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
that was when
Yeah,
Sherman.
right.
That was when Sherman blew up Jared Goff streaking down the left sideline. That's right. Okay. Yeah. I think I was only going back to 2017. That's why it was hard to remember because it has been that long. But yeah, you're right. It's always in those. It's always in those Grinch suits that we always do well against any team. We're undefeated in the Grinch.
Yeah. Why not play with them all year?
Yeah, I know. That's what we should do.
All right. Weird things like why if it's working for us, like instead of doing all the strategy and all this stuff, let's just wear the greens all year.
Yeah, because ultimately that's what's going to determine the game. All right, let's go to the.
Let's have black jerseys.
Yeah, oh yeah, we need to get altered back. I still want them to bring back the old school '70s outfits. I did a Madden game, was able to bring out the whole, the silver helmet with the bright blue, royal blue, whatever that color is, the gray pants. And then every time I saw a number 3 out there, I kept thinking of John Kitna and Russell Wilson didn't look like Russell Wilson anymore. It looked like guys from the '90s and earlier. So, all right, let's go to the YouTube scoreboard. Let's see how things flip here. Malcolm Butler in first place. Papi Judo Norb in second. Tyler Lockett G in third. Let Russ Cook in fourth. And Sky High Aviation in fifth place. And up 21 places, Penalties is the highest climber. Penalties is becoming legendary around here. All right, question number 4. Chris Carson was drafted in which round? First, third, 7th, or 6th? What round was Chris Carson drafted in? First, third, 7th, or 6th? If you're not sure, you can listen to my music video about the draft that I sing about him. First, third, 7th, or 6th? There you go. YouTube on point. 41 said the 7th round. Yes, indeed. He was in the last round of that 2017 draft, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go to the panel, starting with Steez.
This one was a gimme.
Pretty easy. I know you guys know your draft stuff pretty well, especially you, Steez. You're like, all the draft data, and Squab was pretty sharp on it too. So I assume Squab's going to get the lead here. No questions asked. Coach Marsh.
Yeah, it's the beauty of the draft. Anybody below the 3rd round that makes it is great. And having a running back coach as my mentor, if I get that one wrong, I'd never be able to talk to him again. So.
All right.
Yep, got it right.
So keeping up for Coach Marsh 4, Squabo 4, and Steezy with 2. Let's go to the YouTube scoreboard here.
Unlike Norb, I'll let a younger person win, Squabo, so don't worry about it. I let my kids win. He crushes his kids in checkers.
Well, unlike Norb, he just he can try and we'll still win. You have to.
You might not get back on the show with that line, though. He might not invite you back.
It's true, though.
He played trivia one time. He had 2 points.
I know. I think it was more than 2. I think it was 3.
Oh, that's true. You're right. He doesn't play the trivia.
Yeah,
but he's the host. The host
hey, man. I don't have to be. I don't have to be smart. Yeah, that's true. But you spotted me 1,000 points or something too.
Hey, but none of us have our own football with a brand on it, so he's
that's
well
right.
ahead of us from that.
You don't have to be smart. Just be popular. That's all that really matters. That's the key to life, folks. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go to the scoreboard here. Malcolm Butler stays in first, but Norb's Harry Inc. moves up to second. Sky High Aviation jumps up to third. Seahawks Fan 1219 in fourth, and DK's Insta in fifth. Bam Bam has the highest answer streak, going of 4, trying to get onto the podium here in the top 5. Next question. True or false again?
Go ahead.
The Seahawks had 6 sacks against the Bills. True or false? The Seahawks had 6 sacks against the Bills. True or false? Bill, what were you going to say?
I was wondering if you use the same hair color as Giuliani does.
I don't know what color he uses. 6 sacks against the Bills. True or false?
On the side of his head.
44. Most of you guys got this one correct. It was false because, guys, the correct number. Oh, Scabo disappeared on us. There he is. The correct number of sacks, guys. Do we all know this?
7.
7. So let's just give points already here. So Steez gets a point. Squabs gets a point. I didn't hear you, Bill, but I'm assuming, did you know this?
Yeah. 7 is
all right. So
an easy one.
All right. So the horse pack stays the same. Coach Marsh with 5, Squabble with 5, Steezy with 3.
Yeah.
Let's go to the scoreboard. Steezy's going to make his move around that corner. But for right now,
he
went wire to wire last week.
Yeah, Seahawks fan 1219 jumps to the first spot. Norb's Harry Inc. stays in second. Sky High Aviation stays in third. DK's Insta moves up to fourth, and Norb, come on, gets into fifth. And then 7 players just got a 3-answer streak. But let's see what happens with this one. Number 6. The score of the Seahawks-Bills game was 45-34 Seahawks, 44-34 Bills, 44-34 Seahawks, or 40-34 Bills. Let me read that again. 45-34 Seahawks, 44-34 Bills, 44-34 Seahawks, or 40-34 Bills. Time is up. Whoa, look at that. These guys know their scores, man. You can't get anyone past most of these guys. 52 of you guys got this correct. Yeah, 44-34 Bills. It's funny. Some people actually guessed that the Seahawks won that game. Some people not been paying attention to current events over here. So let's go to the panel, starting with the Steez Master.
He's getting too easy. I mean, I tend to remember the losses more than the W, so.
True. So Steve's with 4 points. Squabo.
Man, no, like I was just thinking that, like, dude, why can't all the trivias be like this? Like, we could get in such ridiculously hard questions. 20 years before you was born, what was the final score of the game that you lost in week 8? Like, how am I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just about lucky guesses, and then you start getting to the whole ABCD analysis thing. Coach Marsh, do I assume that you got this correct?
Walk, easy one.
Okay, all right. But again, this was a viewer created trivia. I didn't change any of that. I replaced a couple of them, but they will get a little bit harder, and there will be some that you will have to rely totally on guesswork. I'm just saying that right now. Probably. Could be wrong. Probably. All right, let's go to the scoreboard here. Let's see where Norb's Harry Inc. ended up. Whoa, no change. Everybody stays the same, just like our game here in the panel. Seahawks fan 1219 in first, Norb's Harry Inc. in second, Sky High Aviation in third, DK's Insta in fourth, and Norb, come on, in fifth. And 8 players just got 3 answers in a row. It's getting tight here, folks. Here we go. Question number 7. How many Thanksgiving games have the Seahawks played? 1, 2, 3, or 4? How many games have the Seahawks played on Thanksgiving? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Bill, you have a bit of an advantage here because you were alive during all these times.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, or 4. That's not necessarily going to help you. Time is up. Oh my gosh, look at this. YouTube showing their age clearly. Most of the people on YouTube were not alive, unlike you and me, Bill. Only 3 of you got the correct answer. I had to dig deep too, though, because
what was our record?
As you can imagine, I came up with this question, and I fooled you. So the correct answer is 4. Let's see how the fellas did. Steezy.
I said half of 4. I said 2.
Do you remember the 2? Did you just pull that number out, or do you actually remember any of those Thanksgiving games?
Well, I know we had 1 for sure. I remember it was a couple years ago when we beat the Niners. Was it when Sherman and Russ were
eating turkey at the 50-yard line of the 49ers? Yep.
That's actually the only one that I know of or remember. I was kind of thinking that when we had Matt Haskell and all those boys, I was thinking maybe we had 1 just because we were relevant, but that one with Russ and Sherm, that's the only one I actually know.
I had to go back in the annals of Seahawks history to look this up. Took some heavy duty digging. But let's see if Squabo can get some luck here. Play his numerology game.
Oh yeah. So I was thinking, I was like, every single round, I was thinking like, man, this trivia is getting easy, but I don't want to say that because then next round it's going to be so hard. And I finally said it after 3 easy questions in a row. We're seeing records like 8 straight people just got 3 questions right in a row. We're like, oh my God, this is so easy. And then this question happened. And I have absolutely no idea how many games we played on Thanksgiving. I was lucky enough. I was at the Thanksgiving game where Russ and Sherm were munching on the turkey.
Nice.
But that was the only game that I really remember. I'm pretty sure Hasselbeck had one, so I said 2 as well, but I wasn't even close.
Okay, so the age not helping you here. Alina Dahl, in our birthday moderator, says, I got it right. Pays to be old, LOL. So, Bill, does it pay to be old for you?
Yeah. Well, Elena's paying at giving out gifts on her birthday, which is fantastic.
I know. Appreciate it.
Yeah. What I was waiting to see is if one of these guys said, I think we won a game back in 1980 versus like the 49ers or something, because that a few years ago, it was either against Dallas or Detroit. So I remember I had to go back to think, okay, how many times did we play at Detroit? And I knew we played at Dallas. So, yes, I knew we had the 4 because everybody remembers the San Francisco one because it's recent. But it was as a kid growing up and those others. I mean, we got crushed one time at Dallas and then another time Dallas. So, you always played at Dallas. You always played at Detroit.
All right. So there you go. So, Bill, age pays off. So besides getting questions like this, you get that AARP envelope showing up in your mail pretty soon here. So it's all good. Discounts at the theater, discounts at Denny's. We got a lot to look forward to, Bill. We gotta go hang out at Denny's with our AARP cards.
18 and I'm turning 60 here, right? So closer to 60 than I am to 30.
You young punks, you young fire whippersnappers. All right, so Bill takes the lead with 7, Squabo in 6, and Stacey in 4th.
End the game. Throw in the towel.
Stop the count. Wait a minute. I'm not gonna say that. All right, let's go to let's go to the YouTube scoreboard. Things are gonna change here. Heads are gonna roll because only 3 of you got this correct. Oh, hit the button. Whoa. What happened? I don't know. Next question. Dan Quinn was the Seahawks DC coordinator from 2012 to 2016. True or false? Dan Quinn was the Seahawks defensive coordinator from 2012 to 2016. True or false? True or false? Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator from 2012 to 2016. Whoa, we got split down the middle, but a majority of you got this correct. 34 of you said false, and it is false. Sorry about that. That was weird. The thing didn't update the scoreboard. I also went to the next question. I was like, what the heck? All right, so let's go to the panel. Steezy, trying to stay up with these guys. What you got? 50-50.
So I was about to say true, but then I was like, the Falcons went to the Super Bowl in 2016, and I don't think Dan Quinn coached them to the Super Bowl in his first year. So I was like, I said false.
All right. Correct answer there. Squabo.
I thought he did do it. Wait, no. It was 2015 was his first year, I think, in Atlanta. But either way, I remembered that he was in Atlanta in 2016, and that I was assuming that meant through 2016, so I just instantly discounted it.
So you said false.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tie game right now. Squabo with Bill. Bill, chance to maintain the lead. What you got?
Well, yeah, that one's easy because he was such a hot commodity, coming out of the run. So, yeah, he was definitely got an interesting tidbit there is that he and I experienced something from a physical standpoint that I won't share because of HIPAA laws and stuff, that it's almost a miracle that he was able to coach for us in those big games and in the Super Bowl, that he was not doing well, and surprisingly he recovered so quickly and made it. So I have a little connecting point with him. That's a little teaser that I'll just leave. You can read my book someday about it.
Yes.
It's pretty fascinating stuff. So, yeah, he was long gone by the time 2016 came around.
All right. Okay, so everybody got that one. So that puts Bill and stays in the lead at 8, Squabo with 7, and Steezy with 5. Mm-hmm. Let's see if the YouTube scoreboard functions correctly this time. That was just kind of weird. There we go. All right, so Seahawks fan 1219 in first place, followed by Sky High Aviation, Norb's Hair Inc. in third, Norb Come On in fourth, and Aiden Pham at 5th place, and Nick is up 14 places trying to get into the top 5. Here we go, next question. Number 9. NorbCam's Discord server has a channel called Trash Talk, Hawk Talk, Football Chat, or Let Russ Cook. NorbCam Discord server has a channel called Trash Talk, Hawk Talk, Football Chat, or Let Russ Cook. Only one of these is correct. Time is up. Oh, YouTube, yes, you guys are on. You're in the NorbCord Discord. 27 of you guys got this one correct. Yes, it is Football Chat. The other 3 do not exist. Only Football Chat. Although those other names are kind of cool. I actually could consider putting those in there. Let's go to the panel here with Steez.
I apologize, Norm. I'm not a part of that just yet. So I went with
my
what I thought was
is broken.
And I said Hawks Talk. But
that's a good name for a channel, right? I actually.
Oh yeah, what?
I actually modified this channel. This was his original question, but I wanted to make it a little bit more trickier because some of his options in there I felt were too easy. So I changed it to make it a little more trickier. So it fooled Steez. Let's go to Squabs.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Like, first of all,
you didn't join my Discord. You didn't join.
I'm gonna get signed up because I'm excited about this.
Me too.
But I'm pretty disappointed with that group chat name, bro. Like, football chat is about as vanilla as it gets, I was looking at this like, okay, it can't be that one. That is the most basic. I'm sorry, Norm. I like every other name more than that. Even Trash Talk. Like, I that's the one I picked. I said Trash Talk because it was crazy.
Well, okay, so truth be told here, I had nothing to do with the names of these chats. This was all set up by Mike Lorraine's son and the other moderators, so those guys did it. So you can file a complaint to them and say, guys, come on with some better names here. This stuff is way too boring. All right, so Coach Marsh, I'm assuming you're not in the Discord because you're older than
I
dirt.
am in the Discord. I'm in the Discord.
Oh, you are in the Discord.
Yeah, I'm in the Discord. I
Okay,
watched the whole video, your hour-long thing on that. I watched that with how did I know that there were 6 people in the Discord?
Oh, that's true. That's true. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I paid attention to that stuff. I mean, it doesn't mean I knew this answer. The reason I got the answer is because I'm my age, and so I went with the Captain Obvious. Why wouldn't it be football chat? So that's why I chose that one over everything else. So me being in the Discord had nothing to do with me getting it right.
Wow, but look at you, man. Look at using this basic verbiage. The very thing that threw Squabo off is the very thing that made you get this question right. So Bill with a sizable lead, 2-point lead, and the lead of 9, Squabo with 7, and Steezy with 5. But it's anyone's games because we got double points coming up here. So don't count your chickens before they hatch and all that kind of stuff. Here we go. Let's go to this YouTube scoreboard. Let's see what happens here.
Chickens.
Take care of our chickens. Seahawks fan 12-19 still in first, followed very closely by Sky High Aviation. Aiden Pham moves up to third. Schmeristies in fourth, and NorbCam's wig, which doesn't exist, is in fifth. And don't even think about it. It's the real thing. Sucker. All right, let's go. Next question. Number 10. Norb predicted us to lose to the Rams game because they've got blank, and that's a lot for Russ. Is it Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, or John Johnson? In my prediction video, I sung about this, and I said, they've got who, and that's a lot for us. Was it Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, or John Johnson? Time is up. Oh, yes, Aaron Donald. For obvious reasons, but if you heard the song, you would have heard that too. That was the Bon Jovi song, by the way. They've got Aaron Donald, and that's a lot for us. We got Cooper Kupp. Anyway, that was the song. If you go check it out, if you go check out my music video, you can see that directly. But yes, correct answer is Aaron Donald. He's a beast of a man. Shouldn't even be fair that guy's out there. Steez.
So I did hear the song, but I kind of forgot what you said. But I kind of just looked at the options, and I mean, Aaron Donald's quite obviously the best defensive player in all of football, and I was just like, that got to be the answer.
Kind of goes without saying. Squabs?
No, that one was kind of straightforward.
All right. Coach Marsh.
Yeah, one of my favorite players, without a doubt.
Okay, all right. So you didn't even have to really hear the song because, obviously, pretty easy answer, Captain Obvious there. All right, let's go to the YouTube scoreboard. See what's up. Oh, no change. Wow, we've got a neck-and-neck race here. Seahawks fan 12-19, followed by Sky High Aviation, then Aiden Pham. And as we round along the rest turn, going down the stretch, it's Billisties and NorbCam Wig on the outside. All right, so we go to the double Jeopardy part of the game here. 3 questions to go. Here we go. Number 11. Double points. What is the Seahawks record on Thanksgiving? We know what they played for. Were they 0-4, 1-3, 2-2, or 3-1? What is the Seahawks record on Thanksgiving Day? 0-4, 1-3, 2-2, or 3-1? You better all not get at least one of these wrong. 0-4, 1-3, 2-2, or 3-1? Oh yeah, you two, pretty good. Played it safe, got the good answer. 2-2 is correct. 2-2. Let's see what the panel had to say about this. Steez, for double points, you can get right back into the game with one question. Does he do it?
I do, surprisingly so. So for sure, we had that dub against the Niners a couple years ago. And then I remember Coach talking about how we got blasted by the Cowboys some time ago. So that puts us at 1-1. And I was just like, we're at 500, so I'm going to look at whatever's 500, and I'll go with that. So 2-2.
All right, okay. Squabo, this is right up your alley. You all like these numbers and stuff like that. You already knew that it was 4 games. You already knew we won one of them, so I took one answer clearly off the board. So you only had 3 choices left. Did you make the right question with a 33.3% chance of getting it right?
I just want to dedicate me getting this question to Coach Marsh and his explanation of the Thanksgiving games in a similar fashion to the dissection of Steezy's analysis. I just listened to what he said and kind of deduced the same thing. So I got pretty lucky here.
All right, so got it. Okay, 2 for 2. Coach Marsh, you were pretty much already all over these Thanksgiving numbers, but did you get the final number?
Yeah, I almost gave it away, but yeah, I knew it was 2-2. You could deduce the first one, but yeah, it was two crushing defeats and then a couple of nice wins.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's still anybody's game, really, even though the Bills got a lead of 12, Squabo at 10, and Steezy at 8. But anything can happen with 2 more questions to go. Let's go to the YouTube scoreboard as we head down the stretch. Let's see where they all end up. Oh, big changes! Sky High Aviation moves up to first. NorbCam's Wig to second. NorbFam Nation in third. Freddie Swain sneaks in there at number 4. And Cool is Cool is in number 5. And a tough round. 6 players lost their answer streak of 3. And that's why we lost so many players and thus the changes. But you can get back into it. Here we go. 2 more questions to go.
Hey, Norb, does your friend Chrysostomo ever show up at these things?
Yep.
Only
right
because
here, baby.
Only because Ruth. I didn't catch Ruth's last name. It slipped off the screen. But Ruth said, "Can you please do a Chrysostomo impersonation?"
Right,
I don't know what you mean by impersonation.
Happy
I thought he was your
Thanksgiving,
brother.
Happy Thanksgiving. Eat some turkey for me.
Oh gosh.
Bye-bye. Back to the game. Go 49ers. Jimmy G is hot and sexy. Just thought I'd mention that. Bye-bye.
On another show, I'll share the first time I saw that and what my reaction was. It was.
when did you see it? When's the first time you saw it? It had to have been back in the day, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think he was evolving. It's kind of his younger days, but yeah, it was. We were out of the field, and you just out of nowhere, you were so tired. We'd done like 30 shoots of the same thing, and all of a sudden you just turned around, and it was freezing. I thought your face had frozen, like we were in the tundra of Lambeau Field, and all of a sudden you did something, you turned, your face was just frozen. You weren't gonna be able to get it back, and I expected you to mush it, but no, you were that guy, and I didn't know who he was.
Did we have that on video, or is that just one of those off-camera moments?
No, just an off-camera. You and Mike are like, it's 1 a.m. We're gonna get this done. These kids, and it was like your way of showing you were frustrated but being funny, and I was like, who the heck is this guy?
I'm trying to remember. Do we ever do a Chrysostomo on any of those Eastside Catholic videos?
No,
never put it. What was I thinking? This is video gold, and we never put him in there.
I didn't realize he was alter ego like he is now. I thought he was more like a. Yeah, he comes out.
Well, yeah, he hadn't quite come into this personality. The 49ers rivalry wasn't quite there yet, so that had still yet to be determined. But
it's like Benjamin Button. It took a while before.
Right. That's why you never won state, Bills, because we didn't put Chrysostomo in the videos. That was really the missing piece.
So dang close. But
dang it. That was it.
That guy on the sidelines.
All right, let's go back to the game here. Scoreboard closing it down right here down the stretch. Whoa. Okay, I guess we're on the questions. Double points. Which was the first team the Seahawks played on Thanksgiving? Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears, or the San Francisco 49ers? Who was the first team? I hope you were paying attention that the Seahawks played on Thanksgiving. The Cowboys, the Lions, the Bears, oh my, or the 49ers? Cowboys, Lions, Bears, Niners. Time is up. Ooh, I think YouTube was listening. Look at 30 of you guys got Dallas Cowboys, and the other half of you guessed Lions because you were paying attention, but you didn't have necessarily all the intel needed because you knew it came down to 2 teams. Because back in the day, it was always the Cowboys and the Lions playing only on the Thanksgiving Day's game. So, with all that information, we're almost to the home stretch, not quite to the finish line, but Steezy,
I said Dallas. Like you said, it was between Dallas and it was between Detroit, and I just picked Dallas.
So Steezy's still alive, but Squabo could tie Bill for the lead. Does he?
I got lucky too. Coach said Dallas first, and I was kind of going off that. So Dallas.
Bill, you were talking too much, man.
Yeah,
you were spewing up too much intel.
So many things in football. Can we please evolve a couple of new teams on Thanksgiving Day?
We should.
I know. That's tradition, I guess.
Cow. I get it, but man, oh man, enough already.
It's too bad those two teams aren't playing better because they'd be a lot more compelling if the Cowboys and the Lions were actually good teams. So
now
Bill,
no Steelers and Ravens.
I know the one game that would have been good.
Team? I don't even know if they're Dallas's team anymore.
Yeah, not good. So Bill, I guess it goes without saying you got this question correct.
Yes, that would be
right.
Correct.
All right. So Bill, with Steezy, with only one question left, will not be able to dethrone Bill, but Squabo could tie this game and send it into overtime. Let's find out.
Squabo.
It's going to come down to this. It's going to be this last question.
Remember how much I said I was going to help you?
Now, this is, I always save the best for last, and usually I always make it a NorbCam question. But today, I'm feeling thankful. That might change right here. Let's go to the YouTube scoreboard and find out where we stand as we go into the final question. Sky High Aviation, our future pilot, is up there in first place. Seahawks fan 1219 moves up to second. NorbFam Nation in third. Aiden Fam in fourth. And DJ Dalla Insta in fifth place. DJ Dalla Inst. DJ Dalla Inst.
DJ Dalla Inst.
They fit all the characters in there. Nice. Papi Chulo Norb is back with an answer streak of 3. All right, so let's go to the final question. Here we go. Really, it's a YouTube. Could be a tight race. And of course, this is a 2-horse race between Squabo and Bill. Let's see what happens right here. Final question. How many turkeys are eaten on Thanksgiving in the United States? 46 million, 28 million, 33 million, or 41 million? How many turkeys are eaten on Thanksgiving in U.S.? 46 million, 28 mil, 33 mil, or 41 million? Time is up. Oh, YouTube! Most of you got this correct. I'm kind of surprised, but it's pretty cool. 46 million is the correct answer. 25 of you guys got this correct on YouTube. Let's go to the panel. Steezy, for the honor of making it a close game and maybe tying Squabo for second place. What you got?
Well, usually when I come across numbers like this and I don't know the answer, I tend to lean slightly somewhere in the middle rather than the high or the low. So I went with 33.
Oh, and that was exactly the plan. Okay, so Steezy finishes, but still respectable. Double-digit 10 points in today's Thanksgiving NorbCam trivia. Squabo, now this is the horse race we're talking about here. A chance with no Seahawks trivia, no NorbCam related, just general Thanksgiving turkey question. A chance to tie Bill at 14. Does he do it?
So I did. I remember back in my school day, and I'm in college now, but back when I was...
how long ago was that? How long ago was that?
Last year. No.
Was that last semester?
About 6-7 years ago. 6-7 years ago. I remember I had reading some statistic about this, and I thought the answer was 31 million.
What was the class?
No. I don't think it was for a class. I think it was like a random, it was part of like a problem or something. And that wasn't like the point, but that was just, it actually might have been made up. Like it was just a random stat about, like those math problems.
If the United States consumes 31 million turkeys every year, how many would they eat if it was only 40%? Okay, so
and the turkey's running 47 miles an hour.
And that's what I remember, and because it was so long ago, I can't remember the legitimacy. So I just use that as like a ballpark. And I'm like, you know what? 2 things are true. America is fat and inflation. And I said 46.
Oh, you got it right?
I just said no matter what it is, I'm picking the biggest number.
Oh!
And I got it right.
Oh, so you threw out the if in doubt, go for C or whatever that is. You threw that whole theory out. You just went for the big number. You threw numerology at this equation.
Yeah, no, there's so many people here. Like, it was like that one question when we asked about how many people had viewed your Mama Blue video or donated, donated to Mama Blue. And the answer was the most. Like, I was kind of using that logic. Like, it's the last one. Let's send it out on a high note. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Well, you beat me at my own game. I beat Steezy with it, but you beat me on this one. You outsmarted me. Even though you had intel that could have threw you off, because there was a number that was 33 million, which you could have thought, back there 6-7 years ago, it might have been 31 million, and maybe with inflation and population rise, maybe an additional 2 million would make it 33 million. You went against all that and just went for the high, and you got it. That's impressive.
No, like I literally walked you through the process, because like I thought about that, and then I'm like, dude, I do not remember what that was from, or if that's even true. So America's fat. Let's go with that.
America's fat. Let's go with that. That's got a good beat. America's fat. Let's go with that. Okay. That wraps up Thanksgiving 2020. Coach Marsh, you have the chance. You're tied right now. You're on the 30-yard. No, you're on the 46-yard line because it's 46 million. You're on the 46-yard line with your special teams that you love so much. Which that means if you're at the 46-yard line, you snap the ball 7 yards deep. That means you're kicking a 62.
No, I'm sending my punt team out. We're probably snapping it to our personal protector. We're running one of 13 or 14 fakes I got ready.
What say you? What was your answer on this question?
So here's the deal. Like, we're in a country right now, and I'm not going to get into politics, but we had to count how many millions, 300,000, 300 million votes or whatever the number was, right? Who got the job of going around counting how many turkeys eat in the course of a year? And if that number is truly accurate, and we can't figure out how many people voted for each person and get that right, there should be a recount on this one. Now, at the same time, anytime anybody comes up with a stat like this, nobody tries to wow you with the middle number or a low number. You come up with a stat to go, holy cow, seriously? Right. Like, no one's going to go, oh man, 28 million when you have 41 million on there. You want to wow people. Or then you go 46 million, or you go, whatever the other number, 32 million. So heck yeah, 46 million, because of course the question is going to be around somebody tomorrow. All of us are going to tomorrow go, you know how many turkeys are eaten over the course of the year? Who cares about 28 million? 46 million says, yeah, we're big and fat as well.
So you got the correct answer, 46 million, with that theoretical numeral approach. And Coach Marsh wins it with 16 points. Wow. What's funny, though, is that's not how I would have set this up normally. I only did this because I was thinking squabbo mindset here because of the whole, it when in doubt, pick C or B. So that's why I didn't put it. Otherwise, I would have put a number like 56 million just sort of get everybody off. But I thought, everyone's probably not going to think it's the high one. So it fooled Steezy. It didn't fool Squabbo. And it apparently didn't fool you either, Bill. So,
well, that theory over the long haul is going to help those guys. They're going to be past us at age 30. we're at age 70, right? So they're blowing us. They're going to blow right past us.
Yeah, that is true. That's a lot of turkeys, man. 46 million. Anyway, we got to go to the YouTube scoreboard and find out who won it there. Here we go. The final countdown. No, the countdown's over. It's the final results. Here we go on the podium. In third place, with 10 out of 13 questions correct, is NorbCam Nation. In second place, with 11 out of 13 questions, is Seahawks Fan 1219. And in first place, with 12 out of 13 questions, is Sky High Aviation. With Schmittish D's and DK's Bad something in the runners-up. So Sky High Aviation, no stranger to NorbCam trivia. Sky High Aviation has been a winner before, and he's back. I haven't heard from him in a while, but he is back to take his spot, rightful claim to the top number. About 12 out of 13. I want to know which one he missed.
Wow.
Sky High Aviation, are you watching?
That is impressive.
Sky High Aviation says he's three-time champion. Three-time champion, man. That's a dynasty.
A master of multitasking. He commented on my video while we were streaming.
which makes you wonder what else he was looking up while he was busy multitasking. I'm not saying, I'm not accusing nobody. I'm just saying somebody who's good enough to comment on multiple videos is probably pretty good at going, turkeys, how many turkeys in 2020? Sky Aviation, which one did you miss? Sky Aviation, which one did you miss? You're in this. I know you're in there. Come on, I want to know what question you missed. You only missed one question. Sky High. Come on.
Norb is so curious.
Come on, I want to know which one I got you on. Or was it a question that was from our MC Stove on Discord?
Which one? What did I write it? That was funny.
Whoa, I got the Bills score. Sky High, you're not answering the question. Which one did you get wrong? I'm not going to stop the stream until I get an answer, damn it. Oops, I swore. Beep. Sky High Aviation. Just tell me, which question did you get wrong? We got dinner to go to. Ruth Moreno. Hey, Norb, if you're reading this, I'm just in read chat mode. I'm like hanging on every line that pops up because I want to hear what Sky High Aviation. It makes my life so, don't answer, LOL. Steezy Smith says, Sky High Aviation, which one did you get it wrong? Which one did you get wrong, bro? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Come on, man.
He said I got the Discord. What is...
I got the Discord. Sky High Aviation.
Discord name.
Oh, that's what you got wrong with the Discord.
Get him a body bag.
Get him a body bag. Yeah. So I guess what he's saying is he missed the Discord question. The one about the football chat, which is what you guys missed. Okay. That makes sense because, again, very boring name, but Bill likes boring apparently, so that worked out well for him on that question. All right. That's it. Congratulations, Sky High Aviation, 3-time champ. You can almost call yourself a dynasty, right? When you win 3 rings, you're on your way to a dynasty, if not already. So, congratulations. That was fun. That was fun. And that brings us to the end of the show. Guys. As always, I gotta give everybody a chance to talk about what they got going on. So let's start with Steezy. Steezy, what you got going on your channel? Tell them where they can find you and what you got.
Yes, sir. Well, Noah just dropped a video earlier today. I haven't had a chance to get to it because I was filming, but I think the title of the video was "You're Simulating the NFL Playoffs," right? By a Seahawks fan. So if y'all haven't had a chance to check that out, be sure to check that out. If you haven't subbed to him, get him to 600, man. I was putting that in the chat. I don't know if y'all seen that, but I mean, he better be at 600 by the time I check his channel after this. So otherwise, we're gonna have a little, you know what I'm saying? But and if you guys haven't already, please be sure to show Norb some love. Smash that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. He's trying to get to 50K, and we're all trying to go places. And each and every single one of you guys that shows love and shows support by subscribing, by liking, that really means the world to us. And so please be sure to do that if you guys haven't already. And I forgot what Coach's website was called, but be sure to check that out as well. I'll let him get into that.
That's all right. I forget it half the time too, so don't worry about it.
I apologize. And last but not least, be sure to get at me on all socials, especially on YouTube, ideally. Well, that'd be ideal. At Steezy A. Smith, STEEZYA SMITH. As I mentioned earlier, we just filmed our fantasy video earlier today, so that'll be coming out either late tonight or tomorrow morning. Just whenever we can get it done. And I also dropped a video just the other day detailing as to why the Seahawks are still Super Bowl contenders in the NFL. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check that out, be sure to show me some love there. And as always, thank you, Norb, for having us on. I never take these for granted. I love being on here. So thank you. We love you guys. All
right. Well put. Let's go to Squabo, man. Squabo, you're up. Tell them about your stuff.
Yo. First of all, it is Thanksgiving tomorrow. So I'm so thankful to be on here, Norb. I love you. Can't thank you enough for all that you've done. I had a really good talk with Coach Marsh, and I'm already extremely grateful to have met you, Coach Marsh. But talking to you about these two and talking about Steezy and talking about Norb, just reminded me once again, how much I really love these two fine gentlemen and how much they've taught me in multiple different aspects of life. Norb inspiring me and teaching me the ways of YouTube and music making and production and professionalism, and Steezy with his networking and hard work ethic and inspiration and always finding a way to get stuff done. So I'm extremely impressed all the time, and just the fact that like Steezy's blowing up so much on YouTube so quickly, man, just very impressive. Definitely show him some love. Hit that subscribe button. He's already over 1,000 subs, and let's keep growing that. Like let's get his watch hours up. Let's get him to monetization. I too am trying to get monetized, but I'm not yet at the amount of subscribers that I need. So you should definitely go subscribe. I uploaded a video just now that Steezy was talking about NFL playoff predictions using the NFL ESPN playoff simulator. You guys should go check that out as well, because that's a lot of fun every single year. But I predict who are going to be the 1 seeds and how the Seahawks are going to stack up against the rest of the competition in the NFC. Definitely go check that out and subscribe to my channel.
All right, and just so a quick update, scoreboard update. Steezy Smith, if you go to his YouTube right now, he's got 1.09K, which means 1,090 subs. So let's get him over 1,100 here. Well, I know, let's get him to 1.1. All right, that's only 10, so go hit him up. Nick LeBeau,
Please.
in the super chat, says score predictions. Oh, we didn't do score predictions for the Eagles game. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. You didn't do that. Okay, that's right. We've talking about score predictions. We didn't do that. So DJ Squabo, thank you. I got to do that because we got to record that for the next show. So we got to definitely do that. And then Squabo's got 582. So let's get him over 600. There's only 18 away. So come on, guys. Let's get Squabo to 600.
Come on, y'all.
You know, show him some love. So while we're doing score predictions real quick for the Eagles game, since we forgot, then we'll get. I'll let Coach Marsh talk a little bit here. We'll give you guys a chance to sub these guys up. So actually, let me get Bill, let you talk, and then we'll do score predictions right after that. All right. So hit Squabble up, hit Steezy A. Smith, and now let's go to Coach Bill Marsh. Go for it, Coach Bill.
Hey, again, thanks for having me on, and obviously with Thanksgiving coming up, really appreciative of everybody that comes in, does the comments and all those things. But remember, there's going to be somebody out there that going to be alone or going to be cold or what have you. So if you got a family member or a friend that you haven't talked to in a long time, and reach out to them and connect with them, because that's a lot of what I try to do is just lift others up and get them excited. I'm not even going to bring up my website. I'd rather, if you're excited about something I brought to the program today, I want you to utilize it to these people. Utilize the people in the roundtable by doing the subscriptions, all the stuff that they're asking for. That to me is what's important. I'll be coming out with some stuff after the start of the year, and it's important that these guys are doing well because they're the ones that I'm counting on to help me get going with some of the stuff that I'm excited to do. So I am going to finish with happy birthday to my son Luke, Batman. I can't wait to see you. Happy 18th.
Luke, I'm your father. Don't forget. I don't know if you said it.
Luke, I am your father.
All right. Okay, so we got to do our score predictions here, since I forgot to ask you guys last time. So let's do it. Let's start with Steezy. Let's go with you.
Let's go Seattle 35, Philadelphia.
All right. Let's go to get my controls here. All right, Squabo, what you got?
26-16.
All right. And Coach Marsh, your prediction.
Seahawks 40, Eagles 14. Get in, get out, crush them.
Woo! All right. Actually, I'm going to get you that again because I want to get you on a close-up saying that again. I want to make sure I get this documented. Final score. Go for it.
Seahawks 15-14. No, it's good. Seahawks 40, Eagles... Seahawks 40, Eagles 14. Let's just get in, get out, and crush them.
All right. And then, so I guess that brings it to me. So my final score, I'm going to go with what I predicted in my music prediction video. Seahawks 33, Philadelphia Eagles 24. All right. There we go. So hopefully one of our scores turns out correct. Either way, whatever it is, it's got to be a Seahawks win. That's what we're hoping for. Monday Night Football is going to be a blast. Again, I will be doing my usual game reaction watch with my dad, Kuya Burt, Monday night. So come join with me if you're able to. You can watch the game and watch with us at the same time. Or if you can't watch the game, it's a great way to keep updated on the score. We try to make it as entertaining as possible.
We watch it. We watch the game, but we also we listen to you, Norb, and your dad. I mean, it is the best way to watch a game. I can't remember last time we've had so much fun. I've been texting you on it, but we just have such a blast listening and watching you and your dad, you know, and then having the game on as well. So just those are a blast.
Yeah, I appreciate them. It's even funnier now that my dad has a patch over his right eye, looking like a pirate because he's dealing with a double vision issue. So the short-term solution is to just cover the one eye. So he looks like I don't know, one-eyed Jack or whatever, watching these games.
Tony Romo of YouTube games, watching those games.
It's a lot of fun.
Tony Romo there.
Yeah, so it's a blast. I'm going to have some other videos out. Normally, when we play the Eagles, every time we have played them, I've always done a collaboration with Philadelphia, who's a big Eagles fan and YouTuber. She just hasn't been as active lately, unfortunately, that we don't have another music video challenge or rap battle this time, because we've done 3 of them already, and unfortunately there won't be a 4th this season. But I probably will play some highlights and bring back some of the old ones that we did, because those were some classic fun rap battles that we did, and of course we won every single one of those, so that's the best part about it. All right, again, so I want to thank my guests, Steezy A. Smith. Make sure you subscribe to him. DJ Squabo, him as well, and of course, Coach Bill Marsh, who will have some stuff that he'll be promoting later on after the beginning of the year, right? I know you're working on your book. We won't talk too much because I know it's going to be a cool thing. So, yeah, special stuff coming. Taker610 with a super chat says, out of market fan and no NFL games. Or no NFL Game Pass equals Norb. So yes, I'm here for you. A lot of people, I got people from out of the country who listen to me just because they can't get any way of getting the games. As far as Mexico to the Philippines, over to I think Iceland or something like that. So it's amazing. Europe as well. So it's great. It's great to be spreading the word of the gospel of the Seahawks out to the rest of the world. It's so much fun. Hopefully this is the start of something special, a special run where we could see this team really. Potentially could run the table, but we won't jump ahead of ourselves one game at a time. But you know, the writing on the wall looks pretty good, reminiscent of 2014. All right, thank you guys for watching. Everybody in the super chat, thank you so much for your support. Alina Dahl, again, happy birthday! Thank you for super chatting it up, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your birthday. And to all the viewers who are just watching here, thank you for being here, and most of all to you guys, our guests, and to the audience. Have a very happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. We are out. Talk to you guys later. Go Hawks. I know my outro is in here somewhere. Sign off is somewhere hiding. There it is. See you guys later. Go Hawks.